smoke detectors in the apartment building. The child death toll matching the highest in a Chicago fire since the Our Lady of Angels Catholic school fire in 1958 that claimed the lives of 92. A suburban Chicago man charged with attempted murder after allegedly running over his girlfriend with his vehicle will remain locked up after a judge refused to allow him to post bond. The Page County State's Attorney's Office says Judge Brian Tellender issued that ruling ordering 47-year-old Jose Aguirre of Cicero to remain in jail at a hearing on Wednesday. A federal judge has sentenced a suburban Chicago man to 6 years behind bars for a 2016 fire that destroyed a major furniture warehouse where he worked. It caused more than $122 million in damages. 22-year-old Ruben Antonio Ochoa Cruz was angry at his boss over a vacation time dispute when he set paper on fire and tossed it into the shelves of the Room Place warehouse. Fire eventually spread, burning down the 325,000 square foot structure in Woodridge. Authorities will be cracking down on protesters who gather for the upcoming murder trial of a Chicago police officer, Jason Van Dyke, next week. The Tribune reporting police officials told activists that demonstrators would be restricted to a gated lawn just north of the courthouse's main entrance. In an update to a story we told you about yesterday, there are growing concerns in Willowbrook following a federal report that shows a local company may be releasing cancer-causing chemicals into the air. A number of angry residents called for the closure of Sterigenics during a community meeting last night.
I think I speak for the majority of the people here. We want you out. Goodbye. We don't want you in our community. And you know what? Shame on you for putting a place like you run in our community around 4 schools and a daycare. Shame on you for doing it.
The chemical in question is ethylene oxide. It is a known human carcinogen. Experts at the meeting said there right now is no immediate health threat despite the report's findings. The father of 2 Indiana boys who drowned in the Kankakee River has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of neglect of a dependent, resulting in death. Post-Tribune reports 34-year-old Eric Patillo of Thayer appeared Wednesday in Lake Superior Court. His next hearing is scheduled for October 17. 4-year-old Levi Patillo and 2-year-old Evan Patillo were unresponsive August 21st after witnesses pulled them from the Kankakee River near the Illinois state line. Patillo admitted to using heroin the morning of the drownings and tested positive for both opiates and THC. The son of a former Chicago alderman could be preparing to challenge Mayor Rahm Emanuel next year. Jerry Joyce Jr. filed campaign paperwork yesterday, which allows him to begin collecting campaign donations for a possible run at mayor. Joyce is the son of former 19th Ward Alderman Jeremiah Joyce. Could be joining a crowded list of challengers that includes ex-police board president Lori Lightfoot, former police superintendent Gary McCarthy, and millionaire businessman Willie Wilson. The state of Illinois will use a $108 million settlement with Volkswagen over the company's cheating on emissions testing to improve air quality, mostly by replacing old diesel engines with more environmentally friendly options. The first round of state grants will provide $20 million to commuter rail and public transit bus projects here in Chicago. A man in his 60s from LaSalle County is the first person to die from the West Nile virus in Illinois this year. The state's Department of Public Health confirmed the man's death yesterday. The state says so far this year, 22 have gotten sick from the virus. The ACLU this morning will ask Southern Illinois University to change its new protest policy. The group's head Yonka yesterday said SIU's policy that prevents student athletes from protesting during games is a restriction of their free speech on campus. SIU adopted the policy after cheerleaders knelt during the national anthem at SIU football games last year. Chicago sports, Todd Frazier drilled a grand slam in the first. Mets rolled over the Cubs at Wrigley 10-3. However, the Northsiders beat New York in 11-2-1 earlier in the day to finish off a suspended game from Tuesday. It was the Ryan Lamar show last night in the Bronx. He homered and smacked 2 doubles in a White Sox winner over the Yankees, 4-1 in the Bronx. Reynaldo Lopez was sharp, 5 hits and 1 run over 7 innings for the White Sox, who begin a 4-game series with the Red Sox tonight in Boston. Cubs are in Atlanta. Northwestern kicks off the 2018 football season tonight against Purdue in West Lafayette, while the Bears take on the Bills tonight at Soldier Field in their final preseason game. The news, a service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you can be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty by becoming a Compassion International child sponsor. You can choose a child to sponsor now at compassion.com/radio, compassion.com/radio. 5:09, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Don't miss Freedom Summit 2018, coming to the Chicago West and Northwest in Itasca on Saturday, October 27th. This year, featuring headline speakers, former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark and James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. Also appearing, AM 560's Mike Gallagher, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, and Joe Walsh. Get your tickets today at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Precision Payroll of America, Automated Systems Incorporated, and by Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Street.
I'm Devin. I deliver sandwiches for Jimmy John's.
Freaktown, population Devin.
We'll deliver 1 sandwich,
Minimum freak,
or hundreds of sandwiches.
infinity freak.
However many you want.
You're mayor of Freaktown, Devin. Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah.
I'm Tammy. I get to Jimmy John's early every day
Freak-a-doodle-doo.
to bake bread fresh.
Freak-a-doodle-do.
And we keep on baking throughout the day, so it's always fresh for our customers. That's all.
Doodaloo, freak-a-doo. Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology actively invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're the one that's in charge of getting your business logo on everything. There are a lot of promotional product and branding companies that can do the work, but they're not marketing people. This is Bob Rowdy's. I'm a marketing guy. My company is Proforma Total Solutions. We have the resources of a $500 million company with the speed and response time of a small company. Promotional items, apparel, commercial printing, trade show displays, direct mail, and more. Proforma isn't just an order taker. We help you make selections and help you find the best way to display your brand. And we can do it all. One place, one shop. Anything that has a logo on it, we can do it. Best thing, give us a try. Give us a chance to earn your business. Proforma, 708-301-4128. That's 708-301-4128. I know it's hard to remember a number, so here's where you can get all the info. bestlogochoice.com. That's bestlogochoice.com.
5:11. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Good Thursday morning, Mike. Calumet Park. There's a closure of 119th between I-57 and Wood. This is due to that shooting Mike told us about at 119th and Marshfield. On the Kennedy Expressway, the express lanes have just opened inbound after being closed for overnight construction. Inbound Eisenhower, the exit to the outbound Kennedy, just reopened after overnight work. We have a rail crossing gate problem in Elgin. The gates are malfunctioning. Big Timber at McCain. We have a closure in Naperville. This is for something fun. The last fling is coming up, and so there's a closure of Jackson, Ewing, and Main Street till 5 a.m. next Tuesday. There'll be some moving midday work on Lakeshore Drive on the south side today. 2 lanes at a time will be closed southbound between the Stevenson 57th, 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. You'll have White Sox traffic and Bears traffic this evening. Traffic service of unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. at unbound.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. It comes to us from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Partial sunshine to start the day today with a high 75. Later tonight, it will become partly cloudy with a low of 60. Then tomorrow, some sun, then clouds with an afternoon shower. Thunderstorm in spots, high 82, low 71. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
63 at O'Hare. A crisp 55 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. How insane is our political culture? This story, manufactured controversy by the D.C. press corps yesterday, I think speaks to the level of insanity. The obsession with racial politics and the associated phony victimology. This is the story of Ron DeSantis, who is the now Republican gubernatorial nominee in Florida, congressman, who is running against the upset darling of the media, move over Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, there's a new face of the Progressive Party, and his name is Gillum. Gillum? Yeah. He's the mayor of Tallahassee. That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah. He is the Democrat nominee for governor in Florida. Ron DeSantis is going to be a heavy favorite in that race. But this is the statement that DeSantis made after his victory on Tuesday night, speaking on Fox about it and about the upcoming general election Wednesday morning. DeSantis said this.
Florida elections are always competitive, and this is a guy who, although he's much too liberal for Florida, I think he's got huge problems with how he's governed Tallahassee. He is an articulate spokesman for those far left views, and he's a charismatic candidate. And I watched those Democrat debates. None of that was my cup of tea, but I mean, he performed better than the other people there. So we've got to work hard to make sure that we continue Florida going in a good direction. Let's build off the success we've had on Governor Scott. The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases and bankrupting the state. That is not going to work. That's not going to be good for Florida.
If you're a sane person, you might not pick up what he said that's controversial. But Gillum is black, and you heard DeSantis say, let's not monkey this up. Right. And so monkey this up.
Yeah, what exactly? Because Peyton and Eli were asking, well, what does that mean, monkey this up? And that means, in your mind, what does it mean?
It means what it's always meant. And in context, the meaning couldn't be more obvious. Monkey this up. Muck this up.
Right, muck it up.
Obviously. He's complimenting Gillum in his performance, even though he disagrees with him substantively in the first part of what you heard him say. Let's not muck this up, monkey this up, whatever phrase you want to use to say F this up, but not say that on Fox News. That's what he's saying, obviously. The idea that anybody would take that and accuse DeSantis of a dog whistle.
Being racist, yeah.
You're a scoundrel. You're an intellectual simpleton and/or a scoundrel.
Well, I all of his supporters think that he was a racist term because look what happened when Roseanne Barr tweeted about Valerie Jarrett comparing her to an ape. And I argued yesterday with someone I know, but he didn't call him a monkey. He didn't say, they said, let's not muck it up. Let's not monkey this up.
Whoever that person was that you were arguing with should be institutionalized.
Well, because they don't like DeSantis because he's a huge Trump supporter and President Trump likes him. I mean, remember his campaign ad?
Everyone knows my husband, Ron DeSantis, is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
He reads stories.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
He's teaching Madison to talk.
Make America great again.
People say Ron's all Trump, but he is so much more.
Big league. So good.
I just thought you should know.
Ron DeSantis for governor.
Yeah, so Gillum then was on Cavuto's show.
He was everywhere. I mean, I didn't think he had time to breathe yesterday. He was
No.
on show after show after show.
He was on Shepard Smith's show on Fox to respond to what was said by DeSantis on Fox, and this is what Gillum told Shep.
It's very clear that Mr. DeSantis is taking a page directly from the campaign manual of Donald Trump. But I think he's got another thing coming to him. If he thinks that in today's day and age, Florida voters are going to respond to that level of derision and division, they're sick of it. What we're trying to offer in this race
was
is
that
a North
racist
Star
or
for where we want to go as a state.
Was that racist or a figment of speech?
Well, in the handbook of Donald Trump, they no longer do whistle calls. They're now using full bullhorns.
And that was a bullhorn?
And what I've got to say about that is that we've got to make sure that we stay focused, I think, on the issues that confront everyday people.
Yeah, so it's racist. That's what Gillum said, because Andrew Gillum is, a Cory Booker, Black Lives Matter, socialist demagogue. And he's going to get hammered by DeSantis.
You think so? He went on, we're better than this, Dan.
Let me be articulate and clear here, which is we're better than this in Florida. I believe the congressman can be better than this. I regret that his mentor in politics is Donald Trump.
Station after station. He was on cable show after cable show.
Better than what? It's the same pablum from the left. The same cheap, foundation-free, divisive racial politics. They're projecting onto others who they are. That's what Andrew Gillum is. He's a scumbag. He's a scoundrel. And I'm so exhausted with the phony baloney charges of racism. I'm so tired of focusing on a figure of speech and context you just heard. It is not defensible. Gillum's position is not defensible on any level. And neither is anyone who accuses DeSantis of making a racially charged statement. It's idiotic. If you say, if a coach in this day and age says, hey, stop dogging it in practice or stop dogging it when we run sprints, because Trump said somebody was a dog, that makes him a racist. Is that a dog whistle? Is that a dog blowhorn, Andrew Gillum? This guy, by the way, on the substance of the matter, since Andrew Gillum wants to rise above this, let's rise above it and talk about substance. This guy wants to abolish ICE. That's what he ran on. Right. He wants government-run health care. That's what he ran on, Florida. He wants a 40% increase in the state's corporate income tax. Well, that'll certainly quell the rush of people and businesses to Florida, being a low-tax state. And, oh, by the way, Tallahassee is the subject of a federal investigation. They had undercover FBI agents in his city hall. So we'll see where that goes. He assured Shep.
That he had nothing to do.
Oh, of course. He's not a target. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, guess what? When there's a federal investigation going on in the government that you head, that's a political problem, Andrew Gillum. And no amount of race hustling is going to make any of that go away.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Robert in Oak Brook.
Yeah, real quick. All these governors, like our race here in Florida, they're going on legalizing weed, all right?
Yeah.
Free health care for everybody. And the new millennials will not get it if they do get elected. When they go to buy a slider and it costs you $10, when you go to get a gallon of gasoline, it costs you $10. Your car's going to cost you $100,000. They just don't get it. But if they get elected, it's going to bite them in the butt, and they'll be going, "What do you mean I have to pay all this money?" Well, because it's not free. See, they keep believing that health care is free, that somehow our government, we don't collect taxes. And real quick, there's 250,000 black business owners in Florida, all owning small businesses. Do you think they'll understand that if he raises their taxes by 40%, what that's going to do to them?
Yeah, I think they will. Thanks for the call, Robert. Mike in Melrose Park.
Hey, good morning. Didn't we go through this the other day with monkey business, the boat, and Gary Hart was a Democrat, so then how would monkey happen to be a racist term, you know? and monkey has always been a term for goof with, or like you said, muck it up, or a euphemism for what it really means.
Yeah.
So, you know, these guys are they're nuts.
They are nuts. Thanks for the call, Mike. And we're all dumber for having to indulge their hysteria. Vince in Waukegan.
Hey, Dan. Yeah, I don't understand why people on the right don't know how to take and turn the left's words against them. You know, if the left wants to associate the word monkey with black people, then they're the racists, not us.
Yeah,
So turn around and stick it right back in their eye.
Thanks for the call, Vince. Absolutely. It definitely. And this is where, frankly, Trump is useful. And not always in the way he does it, but the direction in which he does it, which is, oh, you want to come at me? I'm going to come right back over the top at you because your position is illegitimate and indefensible. And that's what DeSantis and Florida Republicans, who, by the way, about a 200,000 vote spread between Republican primary voters and Democrat primary voters. So we'll see how that enthusiasm for Gillum is sustained or not.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
State record shattered, and it's all thanks to someone from Wheaton. But first, here's your forecast. Today, partly sunny, pleasant, a high of 75 degrees. Tonight, cloudy, a low of 68. And then tomorrow, Friday, some sun, then can't rule out a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, a high of 82. Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic Centaur, here is Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Of course, traffic's moving well in Wheaton this morning. No problems there. And things aren't too mucked up on the expressways yet. Inbound Kennedy, just fine. The reversibles have opened on the inbound side. No Eisenhower delays yet. Inbound Stevenson, you've got a 2-minute pocket of slow traffic between Cicero and Kedzie. It's 36 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound fine, 34. Ryan, 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. Delay start past 31st. Bishop Ford, got a 3-minute delay from 115th to Stony Island Theater. Overnight road work cleared. Tollways look great. We see no problems at all in northwest Indiana. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 4343 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 4343. Enjoy!
When you're looking for a caring dentist and an experienced dental staff who'll treat you like family, then it's time to call Dr. Y at Oaklawn Dental LLC. Dr. Yerkes and his team will create a smile that you'll want to share with family and friends. Go to oaklawndentist.com for a complete list of services, or call Oaklawn Dental for an appointment with Dr. Y at 708-424-5700. And for a limited time, get a $100 credit on your new account. Call 708-424-5700. Oaklawn Dental LLC for the smile you deserve.
Doctor, award-winning chief medical correspondent, and Salon Pass user, Dr. Bob Arnott.
For pain relief, the best solution may surprise you. I found that Salon Pa's Lidocaine Plus works best for my pain. It's powerful, available without a prescription, and uses 2 anesthetics to numb nerves right where it hurts. It starts to work on contact, providing effective, lasting pain relief I can count on.
Salon Paws in the silver box with the blue wave. Building owners and managers. Now is the perfect time of year for a service and maintenance agreement with Waukegan Roofing. Since 1914, Waukegan Roofing has been installing and maintaining roofs you can rely on for all of Chicagoland. Our experienced team of professional service technicians is the right solution for preserving the integrity of your new or existing roofing system for years to come. With your dedicated service technician and our multi-point inspection program, we cover all areas of your roof from early detection to preventative maintenance to repairs and everything in between. We're the licensed commercial roofing contractor you can rely on for all your roofing needs. Building owners and managers, now is the time to prepare your low-slope commercial roof for everything that Mother Nature throws at it this year. Call Waukegan Roofing today for your service and maintenance appointment at 877-ROOF-201. That's 877-ROOF-201. Or visit us online at waukeganroofing.com. Waukegan Roofing, installing roofs you can rely on since 1914.
Illinois licensee 104000761.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, I am trying not to monkey up our discussion of Ron DeSantis and our lobotomized political culture and press corps. Peter Gabriel, should his songs be taken off iTunes?
Yes.
Peter Gabriel.
Don't play the refrain with, oh, the monkey with a monkey. Oh, wait, am I going to get in trouble now?
You have to replace monkey. Come up with a replacement. I don't know. Chuck and Delavan, Shock the Monkey. Come up with something else.
I just suggested that they play that Shock the Monkey song. I don't know anything about it because I listen to country western all the time up here in Wisconsin.
Of course.
But anyway, I was just wondering about that song, so thank you for playing it.
All right.
You guys enjoy the day.
All right. Thanks for the call, Chuck. Wisconsin has both kinds of music, country and western.
Yeah.
Larry and Carol Stream.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. I guess we're going to have to now go to every toy store in the country and pull that vicious racist game, Barrel of Monkeys, off the shelves.
Oh, I hadn't had that game.
Thanks for the call, Larry.
Did you play that game, Dan?
No.
Or that was too street for you, too?
I played chess and backgammon.
That's right.
Those are my board games.
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
Yeah. Amy will be on with Shepard Smith this afternoon to discuss our playing of Shock the Monkey and whether or not that was racist, some kind of dog whistle.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Red Sox slugger stands by Hitler tweet. Oh, this is good. 5:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Service to honor the late Senator John McCain. It's being held this morning at the North Phoenix Baptist Church. Former Vice President Joe Biden and the former State Attorney General Grant Woods, along with Arizona Cardinal wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald, will speak at that ceremony. Yesterday, Arizona Senator Jeff Flake reached out to the family and praised Arizona for their support of the McCains.
He has a wonderful family that has supported him so well and has sacrificed so much for him to be shared by all of us.
Finally, on Sunday, a private memorial at the U.S. Naval Academy, followed by a burial service there. President Trump says the governor of Puerto Rico really is happy with Hurricane Maria cleanup efforts.
We put a lot of money and a lot of effort into Puerto Rico. Most of the people in Puerto Rico really appreciate what we've done.
The president made a point to mention the U.S. territory had major problems before it got hit, and the federal government is still unwinding and trying to straighten out those issues. A new report puts the death toll for Hurricane Maria at much higher than previously reported. An NFL linebacker is in hot water this morning, but not for why you might think. Cleveland Browns linebacker Mikael Kendricks admits he made over $1 million a few years ago using insider tips from an acquaintance at Goldman Sachs. Kendricks apologized yesterday and promised to pay all that money back at what may have been illegally gained. This morning, Australia won't let classified information leaker and whistleblower Chelsea Manning into that country. The organizer speaking of a speaking tour that the former Bradley Manning was scheduled to begin Sunday, said the government notified the former analyst that he would not be allowed into Australia, presumably because of a criminal record. A man is in critical condition this morning following a shooting in Calumet Park. DCFS is revealing some new information about the mother of 5 of the children who died in last weekend's fire in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. The agency does say Yolanda Ayala was the subject of 21 prior child welfare investigations, 19 of which were ruled unfounded. Suburban Chicago man charged with attempted murder after allegedly running his girlfriend over with his vehicle. He'll remain locked up after a judge, Brian Tellender, refused to allow him to post bond. And State Farm is adding its name to another major arena, but this time it's in Atlanta. The Bloomington-based insurance giant announcing that it paid $175 million to turn the former Phillips Arena in Atlanta into the State Farm Arena. State Farm has just put a major hub in Atlanta and will help build its brand there. Mets roll the Cubs 10-3 at Wrigley. That after the Northsiders beat New York 2-1 in 11, just a bit earlier in the day to finish off a suspended game. We'll get to know the name. Ryan Lamar homered, smacked in 2 doubles, and had RBI in the White Sox 4-1 win over the Yankees, and the Bronx had all 4 RBI in that Yankees win, or the White Sox win over the Yankees. Reynaldo Lopez allowed just 5 hits and 1 run over 7 innings of work for the victory. And there is football tonight, regular season football for Northwestern. They open the season tonight in West Lafayette against Purdue, while the Bears take on the Bills tonight in the NFL preseason. The news, a service of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Use your power to cure and pedal with a purpose at Spin for Crohn's and Colitis Cures. Grab some friends to join you for this high-energy indoor cycling event benefiting the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Visit spin4.org to learn more. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher calls out the never-Trumpers.
They are so crazed, consumed with their personal hatred of this man that they don't care what happens to the country. They don't care what happens in terms of policy. They don't care what happens in terms of anything that has been achieved in the nearly 2 years that Donald Trump's been president. They are unglued.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Great coffee, period.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Enjoy your summer with a new smile and a new outlook on life. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
That's Dot. She's here to greet me after a long day. She's the only one who wants to be near me when I'm sick. She's my best friend. Thanks to folks like South Suburban Humane Society, Dot went from living on the street to a dog that wears clothes. Yep, I'm that guy. So how did I get so lucky? Before I met Dot, I spent time at South Suburban. Giving to a nonprofit isn't always about giving money or donating food and supplies, although that's appreciated too. South Suburban Pets just want your love. We encourage you to come by the facility, take a dog for a walk, play with Dot's cat friends, or even foster a pet to keep your flexibility. If you're interested in how you can volunteer or donate, visit them at southsuburbanhumane.org. That's right, Dot. South Suburban is a 501c3, which means all donations are tax deductible for individuals and businesses. Text DONATE to 708-866-0065 or visit southsuburbanhumane.org. South Suburban Humane Society, creating a better world for pets and their people.
5:37. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Eden's delay-free right now, so is the Kennedy Expressway. Inbound Eisenhower, though, it's slow going. 25th Avenue to Des Plaines Avenue, 31 minutes. Travel time, 390 to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. Inbound Stevenson, slow First Avenue to Kedzie and Demon to the Ryan. 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 34. On Ryan, 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 17 with roadwork delays from 83rd to 95th. I-57, 17 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 18. Tollways are okay. Northwest Indiana's clear. Traffic, Service of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Supporting victims of drunk driving, drugged driving, and underage drinking at no charge. Call their 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MAD-HELP, or visit mad.org. That's MADD.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Partly sunny, pleasant day ahead, and a high of 75. Currently 62 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
Hey, a monkey
Hey,
time.
monkey.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, heavens. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. If he's listening, I would like Michael Nesmith to call in.
Oh.
And so we could ask him if he should apologize for what Ron DeSantis said and that he was part of the monkeys.
Okay.
Davy Jones unavailable.
Yeah, he passed away.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
Mickey Dolenz.
Oh.
Is he unavailable?
I don't know. Mickey Dolenz? I don't know.
Peter
He's
Tork.
transitioned
Peter
yet.
Tork is available.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll prioritize any former members of the monkeys. We're discussing, incredibly, because we're trying to find an endpoint to the unmitigated ignorance that punctuates our political culture, and I'm trying in vain. I'm not sure there is one. Not on the left. The comments that Ron DeSantis made after on Wednesday morning after he won the Republican nomination for governor of Florida, and his challenger, his opponent, is Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum, who's a black man, surprise victor on the Democrat side, and Ron DeSantis again said this. If we can get there.
Florida elections are always competitive, and this is a guy who, although he's much too liberal for Florida, I think he's got huge problems with how he's governed Tallahassee. He is an articulate spokesman for those far left views, and he's a charismatic candidate. And I watched those Democrat debates. None of that was my cup of tea, but I mean he performed better than the other people there. So we've got to work hard to make sure that we continue Florida going in a good direction. Let's build off the success we've had on Governor Scott. The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases and bankrupting the state. That is not going to work. That's not going to be good for Florida.
And don't bite off my head, anybody, but in this day and age, I would never use the word monkey, ever. I just, I wouldn't even say to some of my players, quit monkeying around. Just consider.
Would you make those noises without saying monkey?
Exactly. Because we live in different times. It's true. And I don't want to step in anything. I don't want to be accused of anything. That's why I do not use that word.
Well, it's fine. And I'm sure Ron DeSantis, just to avoid the silliness, would have preferred to have said muck it up or muck it up or whatever in retrospect. But the position that you take is the position of the person who's happy to be rolled over. You're ceding the territory to the ignorant.
You think they'll you think that's the last word they'll redefine? They redefine one thing and they move on to the next thing. You think you can surrender in one space and then they're going to leave you alone? They're going to leave the language alone? Man is corrupted. First the language is corrupted, then man is corrupted. And that's what's happening. So it's going to be the next thing. It's going to be a colloquialism you've used since you were a little girl that is all of a sudden a dog whistle. And then what? And then you're going to say, well, okay, I'll stop using it. Oh, I apologize. And then it'll be the next thing you have to apologize for because there's no legitimacy in their position. There's no legitimacy in this attack. There's no legitimacy in this false indignation. So it should be confronted straight away. I mean, political correctness was on the rise when I was an undergrad at Northwestern in the early 90s. And this is the attitude that people took. Oh, yeah, well, I don't want to offend. Well, golly, if you say that if I say this or if I take this position on this issue that I'm a racist, well, then I just won't say that and I just won't take that position. I'll just assent. I'll just genuflect before you. The hell I will. That's how you lose your culture. That's how you lose your mind.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
Pat in Lake in the Hills.
Morning, Dan and Amy. I guess my point is why does he even bring up his opponent and how tough he's going to be and how articulate he's going to be when he should be educating his voters on that guy's agenda and how it's going to personally hurt the voter.
Did you hear for the 40? I mean, in 40 seconds, he did both. I mean, I don't know if you've ever watched a political campaign before. You never address your opponent at the gubernatorial level. Of course you do. It's ridiculous. And what he's saying is to Floridians and to the nation, we're taking nothing for granted. Even though Trump won this state, even though I'm coming off a two-term Republican governor, even though Florida leans red, I'm taking nothing for granted because this guy is talented. That's how he pulled the upset in the primary. But, oh, by the way, despite his political talent, he's a socialist. DeSantis said socialist policies, right. The corporate tax increase that he has proposed, the abolishing ICE, all of the other leftist agenda points for what has become the Democrat Socialist Party of America. And that's just in 40 seconds. There's nothing DeSantis said that is not pro forma political speak after you win a primary and look forward to a general election. Not a thing. Thanks for the call, Pat.
Yeah, I still think everybody needs to take the time when they get a camera or a mic in front of them to educate the voter. And I didn't hear anything about him talking about his opponent's agenda.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, we'll play the cut for the fourth time to see if you can hear it. Can you cut, Pat? Because I've lost control of the mouse because we don't have a computer system that works. Here's Ron DeSantis again. Again, Ron DeSantis. This is just 40 seconds of his interview on Fox.
Florida elections are always competitive, and this is a guy who, although he's much too liberal for Florida, I think he's got huge problems with how he's governed Tallahassee. He is an articulate spokesman for those far left views, and he's a charismatic candidate. And I watched those Democrat debates. None of that was my cup of tea, but I mean he performed better than the other people there. So we've got to work hard to make sure that we continue Florida going in a good direction. Let's build off the success we've had on Governor Scott. The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases and bankrupting the state. That is not going to work. That's not going to be good for Florida.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is so unremarkable what DeSantis had to say. I'm just astounded that we have to discuss it. And I've given you some of the chapter and verse on Gillum, which I can assure you over the next 75 days, every Floridian will know about Gillum's problems in Tallahassee, FBI investigation, as well as his policy positions on everything from immigration to health care to tax policy.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first day out for the gubernatorial contest.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, honestly.
Well, he made himself look like a fool. I mean, I was embarrassed for him when I saw him on MSNBC, then on CNN, then on Fox News, and back up on MSNBC. It didn't end yesterday.
Yeah, because the press corps amplifies ignorance. That's what the D.C. press corps does. Holly and Hudson.
Good morning, you two. Haven't talked to you in ages. Hey, Dan, you are absolutely right, just what you just said about language, because this is what put Jordan Peterson on a fast track when Canada tried to mandate and make up words that they wanted to make him use. And he put his foot down and said, this is how totalitarianism happens. So you are absolutely right to put your foot down, and we all should be doing it. On a personal note, I substitute teach, and I have used the term monkey recess forever. We are not turning this class into monkey recess. I will never say that again.
No.
I would never have the backing of the school board, the school department, the English. They would come for me. I know it. So you're right, Amy. I'm like Amy. So I'm asking you to stand up, but on the other hand, I don't think I could do it.
Well, okay. Thanks for the call, Holly. I mean,
I don't want to lose my volunteer job.
Yeah.
I just watch it. I mean, I'm
right.
Very judicious with the words that I use in front of children.
No, it's inspiring. I mean, I think that's what we should teach our kids. If thugs push you around, just follow their orders. Right? My gym teacher in grade school, hey, stop monkeying around. He grabbed one of us by the ear. Was he a racist?
No.
Obscene. Absurd. But that's what we want. Oh, I don't want controversy. Okay, I will just be a dutiful drone.
Well, I bet if DeSantis could do it again, he would say mucking it up. Don't you think?
Don't
or
care.
Messing this up.
Don't care. This is the teachable moment. It has nothing to do with DeSantis or Gillum. It has to do with all of us. You're going to let people push you around. Well, of course, in Illinois, you love it. We love getting pushed around by thugs in Illinois.
Little thugs, little ankle biters.
Not only do we get pushed around, we say, thank you, I want you to stay. We're so afraid of our own shadows here, we're afraid to even do what we know is right in privacy, much less in public. The privacy of the ballot box, for example. Sad. And it's unvirtuous for all of you people who think you're good people. Let me remind you again of one of my favorite observations of C.S. Lewis. Courage is the formation of virtue at its testing point. If you do not have courage, it is impossible to possess any virtue you think you have, because when you're tested, you'll fold. And what I'm hearing from some people, even people I like and people that I'm otherwise a fellow traveler with ideologically, is, yeah, I'll fold. I know you will. I know most people will. You see it every day. So maybe this is a time for a little self-reflection on that score. Live on your knees. It's a great way to live. A great lesson to impart on the kiddies, isn't it? Dan in Libertyville.
Dan, I cannot thank you enough for what you're saying today. Everything you're saying is things I've been saying for years. It is very, very disappointing to see people give in, even when they know they're right, even when they know they're in good standing, they haven't done anything wrong, they will surrender. And what happened with this Don Lemon thing, I saw it last night. I said, this can't be right. I saw the episode last night where he said, in caption, shown on the screen so that you couldn't, misunderstand what he was telling you, he tried to turn this statement around to saying, don't monkey this up by electing a black dim.
Yeah, right.
That is what he...
Yeah, of
and
course.
it wasn't
Of course.
what the guy said.
Right.
It wasn't what he said at all.
Thanks for the call, Dan. That's
Telling
because
me my girlfriend lied?
Don Lemon retaining his title as the dumbest man on television. That's what the dumbest man on television does. Philip in Blue Island.
Thank you. It's funny how educated, especially white men.
Yeah.
I know. You went to Northwestern and DeSantis. I think he's a Harvard educated individual. So
yeah.
to pick out words that we know are historically or racist, especially like monkey, he doesn't have to say the N word necessary for the dog whistle to sound out the N-word.
Mm-hmm.
You can say a lot of different things, caca, whatever, all these different terms that racists use.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to protect or defend his right to, okay, he can be a racist or he can be a closeted racist as long as he wants to. But for you and others to come on this radio program to defend it is apprehensible, especially in 2018.
Is it apprehensible is it apprehensible or reprehensible? Why don't you learn the language?
Well, whatever. I'm not Harvard educated.
Yeah, you're not educated at all, Philip. You're just a race hustler who sees everything through that racial prism. Because we've talked to Philip from Blue Island many times. Philip from Blue Island calls to say everything is racist. And there are people out there that want to believe that. Go ahead. Where does it get you? First of all, it's not true. But there's no convincing you of something you're hell-bent to believe. And where does it get you exactly? How's it going? How's it going in Blue Island, Philip? Chicago Democrats rule the roost in the south suburbs, in Chicago, in the state of Illinois, have for as long as you've been alive, Philip. How's it going? Good? The highest black unemployment rate in the city. Do you want to talk in the Chicago's in the country for an urban center? You want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about the violence on the west and south sides of the city that the Democrat power structure just seeks to contain? Their words, since we're focused on words. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about the lack of black entrepreneurship, the relative deficit of black-owned businesses, black families' net worth in this country with respect to and in comparison to other demographics, as we've talked about with our friend Robert Blackwell from Killer Spin. Black entrepreneur on the south side of the city. You want to talk about that? Should we bring on Bob Woodson, civil rights leader, Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams, their proteges like Jason Riley, John McWhorter, to have a conversation about this? And when they have the same positions that, the Harvard-educated or the Northwestern-educated white guy has, are they racist too? Are they dog whistling as well? What are they, Uncle Toms? We played Jim Brown yesterday. What's he, Philip from Blue Island, and the other race hustlers, the other race-obsessed? Is he an Uncle Tom? Is he a sellout? Does he have the standing to comment on these matters? Does he have to watch his words as well, lest he be tabbed with the R word by a Philip from Blue Island? Charlatanism. And I'm not playing along. Sorry.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. It's that time of year again. Politicians on your TV screen and in your mailbox inundating you with promises they don't intend to keep, while under the influence of their misplaced faith and magical words, the kids head back to college to accrue debt they'll finance into their 40s. Comrade Bernie and the Socialists have re-released their siren song of tuition-free college. They'll make college debt disappear much like Bernie's dutiful wife Jane made an entire college disappear. Of course, that debt will reappear in the form of increased government taking from you to finance schools your children didn't attend and pensions you won't receive. The Socialists are offering a free lunch with you on the menu. Make your own lunch. Not only should you send your kid to a school that promotes free markets, you should apply the fundamental tenet to the financing: work. One way is through income share agreements like Purdue University's Back a Boiler program, where a student's education is paid for up front and paid back through an agreed-upon percentage of his postgraduate income over a defined term. This aligns the interests and responsibilities of both the student and university. Both want the students to get good-paying jobs at companies or in sectors with upward mobility. Let's make financing a college education a teachable moment for the students and the politicians.
And now a message for all you tree-hugging, stone-skipping, bird-watching, dog-walking, trailblazing, ziplining, happy camping nature lovers out there. The Forest Preserves of Cook County has 70,000 acres of green space and lots of lakes where you can do whatever floats your boat, including float your boat. To learn more, visit fpdcc.com. Sponsored by the Forest Preserves of Cook County and aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
61 degrees at 5:57. Let's get an update on the roads now in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Hoffman Estates, Barrington Road is closed. Golf, Bodie Road, a crash there involving a Cook County Sheriff's vehicle. Edens Spur eastbound, it's slow going. Tri-State to Waukegan Road. The Edens itself is fine. Kennedy inbound delays are from 190 to Lawrence. Crash in the right lane, 38 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower's 39 minutes, 390 to the Burn Circle. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95 to downtown. Traffic, service of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Use your power to cure. Pedal with a purpose at Spin for Crohn's and Colitis Cures. Grab some friends to join you for this high-energy indoor cycling event benefiting the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Visit spin4.org to learn more. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
At 5:58 on AM 560, it is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. Time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, partly sunny, high 75. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 60. Some sun, then clouds with a shower or thunderstorm spots in the afternoon. Tomorrow, high 82. Mostly cloudy night, low 71. Showers and a thunderstorm Saturday, high 84. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
61 at O'Hare, the news, a service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you can be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty by becoming a Compassion International child sponsor. You can choose a child to sponsor now at compassion.com/radio, compassion.com/radio. 5:59, here are the stories we're following on AM 560. The Answer, a man in critical condition following a shooting this morning in South Suburban Calumet Park. A federal judge has sentenced a suburban Chicago man to 6 years behind bars for the 2016 fire that destroyed the Room Place furniture warehouse, causing $122 million in damage. The son of a former Chicago alderman could be preparing to challenge Mayor Emanuel next year. Mets over the Cubs 10-3 in Game 2 at Wrigley Field. In Game 1, they finish off a game from Tuesday. It was a 2-1 Northsiders win. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Another day of goodbyes for John McCain. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
He said it like it was, and he moved forward, and that's why they call him the Lion in the Senate.
He was among those lined up to view McCain's casket lying in state at the Arizona Capitol.
15,000 people came to pay their respects to this American hero, and all of this in the blazing sun and triple-digit temperatures. The late Senator John McCain served the state for 36 years in Washington. He is remembered not only for those years, but the half a decade he spent as a prisoner of war in Vietnam.
Fox's Alicia Acuna in Phoenix. There'll be a church service today. Then tomorrow, the senator will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol the day before a memorial at Washington's National Cathedral. He'll be buried Sunday at the Naval Academy Cemetery. Days after President Trump canceled his Secretary of State's trip to North Korea amid concerns about the progress of denuclearization, he has a message for the North Koreans. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, in a statement on Twitter, the president warned he could restart war games on the Korean Peninsula, writing they would be far bigger than ever before. Earlier this week, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis hinted the exercises could come back.
We turned off several to make a good faith effort. We are going to see how the negotiations go.
President Trump also wrote there's no reason to spend large amounts of money on the exercises and that he believes his relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is good. Dave?
The president will hit the road later today, going to Indiana for a campaign rally. An ex-Texas cop will wake up in prison for the first time today after Roy Oliver got a 15-year sentence for murder.
We love them. We support the police. However, we do not support bad apples.
That's Dallas County DA Faith Johnson. Oliver was convicted of killing a teenager, shooting in a moving car last year as officers broke up a house party where there was underage drinking. This is Fox News, fair and balanced.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. The last chance to find an incredible deal on the cars, trucks, and SUVs that make summer go right. Simply stop by a local Ford dealer or shop online at buyfordnow.com. Because the time to get behind the wheel of a new Ford during the Ford Summer Sales Event ends soon, and so do these amazing offers. The Ford Summer Sales Event is in its final days. That means it's the last chance to make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Stop by your local Ford dealer and find great offers on many Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. With leading driver assist technologies, it's easy to see why Ford is the brand more drivers buy and buy again. Look for yourself. But hurry, the Ford Summer Sales Event ends September 4th, 2018. To find out more, head to buyfordnow.com or stop by your local Ford dealer. Best-selling claim based on 2017 calendar year sales.
I'm Devin. I deliver sandwiches for Jimmy John's.
Freaktown! Population Devin.
We'll deliver one sandwich.
Minimum freak.
Or hundreds of sandwiches.
Infinity freak!
However many you want.
You're mayor of Freaktown, Devin! Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah!
I'm Tammy. I get to Jimmy John's early every day.
Freak-a-doodle-doo!
To bake bread fresh.
Freak-a-doodle-do!
And we keep on baking throughout the day, so it's always fresh for our customers. That's all.
Doodaloo, freak-a-doo! Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah!
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology actively invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you, the needle in the haystack.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
All right, if your roof's needy, you can
call Crumweedy.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. If your roof is leaky, if the shingles are curling, or if your roof isn't right after storms, then you need to call Crumweedy with roofing companies. And the difference is, of course, installation. Now, Crumweedy, they know that, and that's why they follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact. And many companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty. If you hate high-pressure sales tactics, not from Crumweedy. They give you good, better, best options. You make the choice, no pressure. Crumweedy is a roof that lasts at a fair price. Now, Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crumweedy, they lead this third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953. Now, they fix roof problems, so if your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
That's 630-595-8020. That's 630-595-8020. They're online, of course, at myroofisneedy.com.
Hey, join the Heartland Institute and me on Friday, October 26th for the 34th anniversary benefit dinner at the Cotillion in Palatine. I will be your MC, and the featured speaker will be Judge Andrew Napolitano from the Fox News Channel. Judge Napolitano is nationally known for watching and reporting on the government, and his no-holds-barred, hard-hitting commentary on government overreach and the abuse of our rights. Register today to reserve your VIP tickets or a whole table and meet Judge Napolitano. His important and unforgettable speech will be on the Constitution and human freedom. Also be there to help celebrate the lives of two people who have dedicated their lives to advancing liberty. Heartland Liberty Prize winners Joe Bast, the co-founder and former president of the Heartland Institute, and his wife Diane. Don't be held in contempt. Join the Heartland Institute and me, Judge Napolitano, on Friday, October 26th at the Cotillion in Palatine. For tickets or information, call 312-377-4000 or visit heartland.org. That's 312-377-4000 or heartland.org. I'll see you there.
Discover Westmont, a community nestled in the heart of DuPage County. With top-notch schools, beautiful affordable housing, and excellent dining and shopping, Westmont makes a great place to live, work, and play. Choose Westmont. Discover how your business can flourish and grow with a wonderful central location providing rapid access to Chicago's key expressways, airports, and many family-friendly amenities. Add quick transportation on the Burlington train line, and that means simple and easy travel for everyone. Westmont is committed to working collaboratively with you to facilitate inquiries about your family or business relocation. We'll help your company navigate to Westmont for a great experience. Call Larry Forsberg at Westmont Economic Development at 630-824-9337. That's 630-824-9337 to find out about incentives that can help you plan your development, relocation, or expansion. Discover all Westmont has to offer. For more information, visit ChooseWestmont.com. That's ChooseWestmont.com.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson.
And Joe Walsh from MyPillow.
You're hearing from both of us because we've got 2 great MyPillow deals to tell you about.
And of course, because I'm the resident expert on the great night's sleep you're going to get with a MyPillow.
Is that why you sleep till noon every day, Joe?
Nice shot. Part of the reason. The other's because I'm not on the radio until the afternoon.
Lucky you. Well, I've got to get up early to do Chicago's Morning Answer, and I'm not sure I would get proper rest without MyPillow.
Hey, and I sleep even better with MyPillow because I added the MyPillow mattress topper to my bed. You got to get one. And when you buy the MyPillow mattress topper and use promo code Joe, you'll score 2 standard MyPillows for free.
For me, I love the MyPillow Go Anywhere pillow. So convenient. I suggest you use the promo code Amy. Buy 1 MyPillow and you'll get a second MyPillow plus 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows free.
Hey, either way, you're going to sleep like you never have before with MyPillow.
But definitely use promo code Amy.
Nah. Promo code Joe is the way better choice.
MyPillow.com. Promo code Amy.
Promo code Joe is way better, way better.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And did you see this? Dick's sales have gone limp.
Excuse me. Dick's Sporting Goods?
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay.
Yeah, is that not obvious?
Well, you never know with you peoples.
The decision to pull back from the hunting business has dragged down the retailer's latest quarterly results. Comparable store sales fell 4%. Not adjusting for the 53rd week last year, the company's same-store sales declined nearly 2%. And that bucked a trend in the retail sector, which largely has benefited from a surge in consumer spending fueled by a booming economy. Oh, this after, remember, Dick's Sporting Goods decided to pull back on their gun sales after the Parkland shooting.
Right.
Related story.
I don't go to Dick's because it's way too expensive. Have you been in there lately? Buying for your fictitious children and the fictitious sports teams they're on?
Sometimes I'll stop at the one in Lombard to get shells on my way out to the sporting club I belong to. But, yeah, I try to avoid it for exactly the same reason that I think a lot of people are trying to avoid it, the gun sales policy. A lot of places I can buy ammo.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, where else do you get buy ammo?
That's my business.
Okay.
Thanks
for coming in.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for sharing.
Sure.
I really
problem.
appreciate that.
Related story, and this is from NPR. The school shootings that weren't. Let me repeat from NPR. NPR of the 240 school shootings reported in the 2015-2016 school year, according to the U.S. Department of Education.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 240 schools report at least one incident involving a school-related shooting, which is far higher than other estimates. NPR looked into those reports, reached out to every one of the schools repeatedly over the course of 3 months, and found that more than 2/3 of these reported incidents never happened.
Really?
NPR reporting, we were able to confirm just 11 reported incidents, either directly with the schools or through media reports.
11 out of 240?
Yeah. In 161 cases, schools or districts attested that no incident took place or couldn't confirm one. In at least 4 cases, we found something did happen, but it didn't meet the government's parameters for a shooting.
Well, like, would they find a weapon or a gun in someone's back?
Well, perhaps. We're not specific about that, but yeah.
I remember one case, they said there was a school shooting, and it was actually a 30-year-old man who took a gun from his father and committed suicide in his car a block away from the school, and they tallied that as a school shooting.
Well, that's an example of probably of when NPR is referencing when they're looking into the statistics. Lies, damn lies, and statistics from the U.S. Department of Education. And why is this important? It's not to minimize the actual school shootings, of course, like Parkland, horrific events. It's to provide context so you understand the order of the magnitude of the problem, because that's the basis on which you should make public policy. The basis of making public policy shouldn't be hysteria. You usually get it wrong if you're out of your gourd or if you're just trying to feel your way into the rule of law. understand the scope and nature of the problem, and then thoughtfully try to address it through public policy changes as needed. Where, if there was some evidence that a public policy change would enhance safety in this instance. So when we talk about the epidemic of school shootings or what's going on with school shootings that hasn't been going on previously in our country's history, well, maybe, as it turns out, not much. So do we need to ban video games, and do we need to ban handguns and other firearms? Do we need to change the way we live? Do we need to make schools bunkers, harden the targets? Maybe in some instances it makes sense. And maybe there's a significant overreaction because of the horror of what happened at Newtown or Parkland. There's an overreaction in terms of the likelihood and the ability to respond in most schools. So the kind of, who's next? Everyone sends their child to school and they don't know what's going to. Well, of course, there's always uncertainty, but there's a difference between it being a 1 in 2 shot, no pun intended, and a 1 in 99, 1 in 100 chance, right? I mean, it's just significant, and frankly, good for NPR for digging into the data and not just accepting the government's stats. 240 reported by the U.S. Department of Education. NPR can confirm 11.
Oh. That's a big disparity between numbers. I mean, that's, it's almost fraudulent.
Yeah, well,
for them, the Department of Education, to release those numbers.
Well, it is. It's irresponsible,
or
right?
maybe the school districts to report it, and then, when they do the follow-up, there's no there. It's just strange.
Well, right. And, we just collect data that we're given. Nobody's ever responsible. Data collects itself, and then it just publishes itself. No, I mean, if you're going to put out information that you want people to rely on, that you want people to understand the nature of a problem, uses the basis to understand the nature of a problem, then maybe, I don't know, do some fact-checking, do a little bit of digging, make sure you know what you're talking about. Yeah. If NPR can do it, believe me, I can only imagine how many bureaucrats are at their computers. Well, not now, because it would only be 7:15 in D.C., but in 3 or 4 hours for their 3-hour shift at the Department of Education to play solitaire, that could be doing some phone calls and some basic fact-checking that an 8th grader could do. And this brings us to this story, which I rather enjoy.
Yes.
J.D. Martinez, you know who he is?
Doesn't he play baseball for the Red Sox, right?
This is like talking from Sean to Sean from Elmwood Park.
John hates sports.
I know.
Hey, I don't know. You just get to check his man card. How do you hate sports?
I told him the other day that I'm playing golf with Ryan Sandberg.
Oh, you are?
Rhino. Yeah.
Check out his hair.
You can check out mine. We're
going
to compare
follicles.
notes.
Number 23.
And he's like,
Sean doesn't even know that.
Number 23. He's like Ryan Sandberg with a quizzical look on his face. He was I'm like, what do you don't know who Ryan Sandberg was? He's like, he was
oh my gosh. He played hockey?
Like, yes, he's like baseball player. Didn't he play for the Cubs? You know what he said? He played first base for the Cubs. I mean, honestly.
Wait, how are you hooked up with Ryan Sandberg? And do you need a caddy?
I travel in those circles.
Oh, that's right. Big shooter over here.
Yeah. Des Bryant.
I know. He's your BFF now, too.
I'm his guy. Brett Conway, great kicker for Penn State championship team, and Redskins. He's a member at Olympia Field. I play golf with him, too.
So are you playing at Olympia Fields?
A little envious, yeah.
Today?
Mm-hmm.
Get a sponsor yet, huh?
Yeah.
Or title is going to be your temporary sponsor?
I'm hoping to get the Restore. I'm hoping to join the Restore team with Urlacher and Sandberg.
Then I could see your face on billboards everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Gosh, do they shove that down your throat?
And my new hairline.
Well, let's see what you got under your head. Are you follically challenged now?
No.
Oh, you won't take off your head?
No, because I'm fine.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
But wait, you have the spot up here though?
No, I don't have the friar tuck. No, I'm fine. It's plush. I mean, this is rich, luxurious hair.
Okay.
So I'm,
I got other problems, but that's not it. So anyway.
So back to baseball.
Back to baseball.
Wait, yes.
I mean, but honestly, if you don't know who Ryan Sandberg is,
you need to leave the state.
The country. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. Sean from Elmwood Park's embarrassing. When he fills in for Walsh today at 5 o'clock, make sure you call him bust his chops. But we're talking about J.D. Martinez, of course. MVP candidate, a perennial MVP candidate because he's a big slugger, also great hitter, sitting, I think, like 335 with more than 100 RBIs. I mean, the Red Sox are like 50 games over 500, and the Cubs think they're going to win another World Series. Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
He tweeted something in 2013.
Okay, now, honestly, these real quick. All of these tweets that are coming out from baseball players back 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, do they have interns sitting in rooms just going through all of their tweets?
The sports press corps they're like the DC press corps. They're like CNN.
Who has time for that?
They're just trying to jackpot, kids when they were tweeting stupid stuff.
Yeah, when they were 17 years old. A lot of them were 17, 18.
Yeah. This is he was 25 at the time,
All right,
Martinez.
well, still a man-child in my mind.
Man, because what he tweeted is historically accurate. And unlike those who would fold in the face of heat from the press corps, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being right. I'm sorry for being thoughtful. I'm sorry for telling the truth.
What did he tweet? I'm dying to know.
He tweeted a picture of Hitler with a quote from Hitler: "To conquer a nation, first disarm its citizens." And then he added to that meme, "This is why I always stay strapped, #the truth." When he was asked about the photo by the press corps, he said, "I love my country. I stand by the Constitution. I stand by the Second Amendment." It was one of those things.
America.
It was one of those things where I was really touched at the time. I saw it and I posted it. I had no intent to offend anyone. It was mostly just to state a point, a political point at the time. He also told reporters this is exactly why he doesn't talk politics. Everybody has a right to stand by what they believe in, and that's what makes us American. We're not all going to believe in the same things, but that's what makes this country so great. So he didn't walk it back, and that's the best part of this. Now, that's the quote that he that he posted is not actually sourced to Hitler, but that's what Hitler did.
That's what he did.
So it's directionally correct, and that's what every dictator does, is to disarm the populace, to minimize the resistance to totalitarianism. So that is correct. So it's historically accurate. That's what Hitler actually did. And if people are offended by history, history doesn't care about your feelings any more than math does, and thankfully, any more than J.D. Martinez does.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, he broke a record, and he is young and from Wheaton. But first, here's your forecast today. Partly sunny, pleasant, a high of 75 degrees. And then for Friday, some sun and clouds, and we can't rule out a passing thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon. A high of 82 tomorrow. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Danny. You'll have Red Sox, White Sox traffic in Bridgeport tonight. The Sox teams play each other, and you'll have Bears traffic around Soldier Field with that preseason finale. It's a busy traffic evening. Right now, things look fairly routine on the expressways and tollways. The Edens runs 22 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 20. The eastbound Spur has delays from the Tri-State to Waukegan Road. Kennedy 30 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 21. Eisenhower 45 minutes. 390 to downtown outbound 30. Stevenson looking at 49 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive outbound 35 minutes. Bryan 34 minutes already. 95th to downtown. I-57, 23 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop 425. Lakeshore Drive has roadwork delays northbound Roosevelt to Monroe. And in Hoffman Estates, there's a closure of Barrington Road between Gulf and Bodie. It's due to a collision involving a Cook County Sheriff's vehicle. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up with water. Like our client Kim from Mount Prospect.
We had chronic basement flooding and no one could figure out why. During a huge storm, water was pouring in through the window wells of our finished basement and we had to bail out 6 inches of water. We got a bunch of estimates, but Gus's was the most reasonable, plus he knew exactly what the problem was. He put in a full basement drain tile system and an additional sub pump with a backup battery. Chicagoland Waterproofing gave us peace of mind. I like to say, in Gus we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I've got ankylosing spondylitis, which is a arthritic disease, calcification of the major joints and spine, and I just don't have the pain that I used to have. It's really kind of amazing. Balance of Nature has been an amazing product. I've recommended it to literally hundreds. I'm a pastor, and I've said, y'all just try it. Give it a month. Give it a try. And so hopefully they have. But it's an amazing product, and the neatest thing is when you first open up that bottle, and you can smell the fruits and vegetables. Every time I open one, I just get a big kick out of that.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com. and use discount code CHICAGO.
Being successful in business means overcoming enormous obstacles to serve your customers and community. AM 560, The Answer, wants to shine a spotlight on businesses that are thriving. We want to celebrate their success by finding out what makes these businesses unique, successful, and what we can learn from them. We want to know how you built it. Presented by Chicagoland Waterproofing. To tell us how you built it, go to 560theanswer.com/built. That's 560theanswer.com/BUILT. Sponsored by Signature Bank and Ozinga.
From the acclaimed director of God's Not Dead.
I regret to inform you that your husband was killed in combat.
When she lost her husband.
He chose to save me rather than come home to you and your daughter.
She lost her way. On September 7th comes an inspiring story about the power of family, faith.
I'm not giving up without a fight.
Courage and hope.
He will show them that nothing is impossible.
God Bless the Broken Road. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Only in theaters September 7th.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. It's that time of year again. Politicians on your TV screen and in your mailbox inundating you with promises they don't intend to keep, while under the influence of their misplaced faith and magical words, the kids head back to college to accrue debt they'll finance into their 40s. Comrade Bernie and the Socialists have re-released their siren song of tuition-free college. They'll make college debt disappear much like Bernie's dutiful wife Jane made an entire college disappear. Of course, that debt will reappear in the form of increased government taking from you to finance schools your children didn't attend and pensions you won't receive. The Socialists are offering a free lunch with you on the menu. Make your own lunch. Not only should you send your kid to a school that promotes free markets, you should apply the fundamental tenet to the financing: work. One way is through income share agreements like Purdue University's Back a Boiler program, where a student's education is paid for up front and paid back through an agreed-upon percentage of his postgraduate income over a defined term. This aligns the interests and responsibilities of both the student Wesleyan University. Both want the students to get good-paying jobs at companies or in sectors with upward mobility. Let's make financing a college education a teachable moment for the students and the politicians.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We need strong borders to keep America safe. That's why President Trump is fighting to build the wall. But Senator Joe Donnelly's votes would have made us less safe. In Congress, Donnelly claimed he was, quote, 100% opposed to amnesty, but then he changed his position. In the Senate, Donnelly joined liberals like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and voted to give amnesty to millions of illegal immigrants, even illegal immigrants who had committed serious crimes, including domestic violence and child abuse. Donnelly told us he was against amnesty, but then he voted for amnesty. Call Senator Donnelly at 202-224-4814. Tell him to fight for full border security funding in S3109, Department of Homeland Security Appropriations Act 2019. Amnesty won't keep America safe. Fully securing our border will. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
AM 560. The Answer.
So, Dan, you're not the most popular person from Wheaton anymore.
I never was. It's here's the Wheaton Pantheon. There's Red Grange.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Galloping Ghost. Chuck Long.
Right.
Kent Graham.
University of Iowa, Chuck Long.
The Belushis.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God.
They're raised in Wheaton and went to Wheaton Central.
Oh.
Which is no longer with us. Now is Mariano's. It's true.
But now you.
Well, wait. Hold on.
Who else?
Then there's let's see what else.
Who else is from Wheaton?
Who else? Wasn't Kevin Streelman from Wheaton?
I think that's a pretty good resume there.
And then it's me.
Then it's you.
Yeah.
Well, you've been big-footed by a senior in high school, Jack Olson, who goes to Wheaton Warrenville South. First opening season game, he scored 8 field goals and broke an Illinois high school record.
What did you say? Did you say scored?
He kicked and he scored 8 field goals.
Are you like Ron Manuel? You don't say scored field goals. He kicked the field goals.
He kicked the field goals. That's what I said.
What was
a
the score?
44-yarder, a 48-yarder, a 24-yarder, or a 20-yarder.
Yeah, 3 over 40 or 4 over 40, 4 of the 8. So this kid's going to college, and his parents are lucky. They'll have college scholarship for that.
Oh, yeah, big money.
But for most kickers, like once you make one field goal, I guess it just keeps rolling with you. So, like if you make one, you just have the confidence, like over the night, like to just keep making. And Coach Mihich kept giving me the opportunity to kick another field goal, so I just kept taking it. They were all congratulating me on the sideline. Some of them like come up to me and like when I was at like the 6th field goal, they would say, "You just broke the state record" and stuff like that, and they congratulate me. And they would also just keep encouraging me on the sideline, like saying how good I'm doing and stuff like that. My phone, I had a lot of texts on my phone and stuff. And
he was hailed a hero when he went back to school on Monday.
He also broke the record for the use of the word in a 1-minute response.
Like what?
So he's not going to college on an English scholarship, that's for sure.
Oh, he's a kid.
Let's get it together. This is Wheaton you're representing.
Yeah.
Speak like an adult. What's this stuff? Are you a Valley girl? Do some laps. Olson. What the hell's wrong with you?
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The wedding cancellation that has gone viral. It was a $1,500 tab that the guests didn't want to pay, and the bride was none too happy at 6:36.
And later, the serial cat killer has struck again. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
You're forgetting one of the most famous Wheatonites of all time.
Who?
Friend of the show. CNBC.
Oh, of course, Rick Santelli.
Rick Santelli.
Yeah, I'm below Rick Santelli, too. Thanks
He is
a lot,
feeling
Mike.
left out this morning.
I'm even below Brian Westbury.
I like Brian Westbury.
Yeah, he's good, too.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
61 degrees, and right now we have clearing skies. Luminaries will honor the late Senator John McCain in Phoenix this morning. McCain's casket will be taken by motorcade from the Arizona State Capitol to the North Phoenix Baptist Church. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey recalling the day Senator John McCain came home after years in a Vietnam prison camp.
His talk of country first wasn't simply a slogan on a yard sign. It was what John McCain had done and demonstrated over and over and over again.
Ducey describing McCain as a trusted and tested man. Former North Texas police officer is being sentenced to 15 years in prison for the killing of an unarmed black teen. Roy Oliver was found guilty of murder this week in the killing of 15-year-old Jordan Edwards. Child abuse charges are being thrown out in the New Mexico Desert Compound case. 2 state judges in separate decisions yesterday cited procedural delays by prosecutors in dismissing the charges. Alex Koch is with the Taos County Public Defender's Office.
The rule is very clear that if somebody is in custody and 10 days goes by, that the district court shall dismiss the matter without prejudice.
It's the latest legal setback for state prosecutors who missed deadlines to present new evidence of a plot by 5 at that compound to attack schools and other institutions. Finishing touches are being put together for the epic farewell to Aretha Franklin tomorrow at Greater Grace Temple in Detroit. Bishop Charles Ellis III understands many who are attending expect a show, but he says it will also be meaningful for the faithful.
To make sure that in the midst of all the glamour and all the named individuals and famed individuals that will be here and grace this house, make sure that everybody understands those are 4 sons that will never have a mother.
The Aretha Franklin Celebration Choir, 100 singers will from several congregations will grace the epic farewell. Others set to perform, including Stevie Wonder and Jennifer Hudson. Australia will not let classified information leaker and whistleblower Bradley Manning into the country. The organizer of the speaking tour, Manning, was scheduled to begin Sunday, says the government notified the former Army intelligence analyst that the schedule would not go forward in Australia, presumably because of Manning's criminal record. A man is in critical condition following a shooting in Calumet Park, the victim sitting in an SUV overnight near 119th and Marshfield when someone carrying 2 handguns started firing around 30 shots into that vehicle. A federal judge has sentenced a suburban Chicago man to 6 years behind bars for the 2016 fire that destroyed a furniture warehouse and caused about $122 million in damage. And Illinois will use $108 million in a settlement with Volkswagen over the company's cheating on emissions testing to improve air quality. The first round of grants will purchase commuter rail and public transit bus projects that replace old diesel engines with environmentally friendly options. Mets roll to a victory over the Cubs 10-3 in Game 2 on the day. Game 1 went to the Northsiders 2-1 in 11. That finishes up a suspended game from Tuesday. Ryan Lamar homered and smacked 2 RBI doubles in the White Sox 4-1 win over the Yankees in the Bronx. There's football on tap tonight. Regular season college football. Northwestern opens the season at Purdue, while the Bears face the Bills tonight in the NFL preseason. The news service of Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org. 6:35 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager lays out the conservative mindset.
My position and the position of every conservative I know is we don't care. You could be transgender, you could be cisgender, you could be brother gender, you could be anything you want. We only care about your values. We don't have a position on what you are. Conservatives have a position on what you stand for.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at incomestore.com. That's incomestore.com.
6:37. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. We're now seeing heavy roadwork delays on Lakeshore Drive, southbound from Wacker to Monroe and northbound from Roosevelt to Monroe. Eden Spur has construction delays eastbound from the Tri-State to Waukegan Road. Eden's itself, 30 minutes like Cook to Montrose outbound 21. Kennedy running 44 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose, 20 in the Express, outbound 25 minutes to O'Hare. Inbound Eisenhower, delays start at Wolf, 51 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 32. Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, but delays start just past 126, outbound 36 minutes to 355. Bryan, 39 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 24 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishopport 30. Northbound Tri-State, we see delays now. Southwest Highway to LaGrange Road. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park, from Adams Tollway type, Tri-State to Kennedy. Traffic, Service of Compassion International. For just 5 quarters a day, you can sponsor a child for Compassion International. It's pocket change to you. It's life-changing for a child in need. Be part of the change at compassion.com/radio. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Partly sunny. Pleasant day ahead. We'll top out at 75. Partly cloudy and 60 overnight. Tomorrow, some sun in the forecast. Thunderstorms could break out in the afternoon, a high of 82. Currently, we have 61 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continue next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by On Target Radio. From firearms and Second Amendment rights to personal freedoms and government intrusions. Listen here Sunday nights at 9.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. New research suggests more money does lead to a more satisfying life. Money does lead to happiness, despite the aphorism to the contrary. Surveys of thousands of Swedish... Wow.
Oh, here we go. Now my ears perked up.
Yeah, right. Surveys of thousands of Swedish welfare queens have provided persuasive evidence that money does make you happy. Swedish lottery winners. They were substantially more satisfied with their lives than lottery losers. Those who won prizes were hundreds of thousands of dollars, reported being more satisfied than winners of mere tens of thousands of dollars. And according to the researchers, the increased happiness was still evident up to 2 decades after a big win, so a longitudinal study. You can read all the details in the long-run effects of lottery wealth on psychological well-being, a paper, a working paper by Eric Lindqvist. Why do you have to say that like sing-songy? Do you have to say everything is Swedish in a sing-songy voice?
Yeah, you can't speak
so
Swedishly.
Annoying.
Lindqvist. It's Lindqvist.
That's why I was thrown out of Stockholm. Stockholm School of Economics, and some colleagues across the pond at NYU as well. Now, this runs counter to some smaller sample research, including 22 winners of the Illinois State Lottery. With a control group of 22 lottery winners.
Did they even get paid? Because remember, there was a time when we were so broke as a state, and I tell people this story.
True.
That lottery winners didn't get their prize right away. They had to wait.
Yeah. Well, there was this belief that lottery winners are not happier.
Oh, yeah, because
right?
We always do the story. They're down on their luck. Then, family members come out of the blue, ask for money.
Right.
You give them the money. You don't get paid back. And their lives are ruined.
This is one of the landmark studies, 1978 study, lottery winners and accident victims is happiness relative. It compared, this is now, 40 years old, but compared 22 winners of the Illinois State Lottery back in a time when the state could pay winners.
Okay. All right.
With a control group of 22. The lottery winners rated themselves as happier after winning their prizes, but because the sample size was so small, the researchers concluded it might reflect the influence of chance and failed to note that these data were consistent with the idea that lottery winners were substantially happier, which is a problem with small samples. But this more recent study by those Swedes suggests that they are. So,
do you think you'd be happier if you won the lottery?
Well,
what would you do with your money?
Well,
what would you buy your fictitious children?
No,
Dan,
I mean, money is just a means to ends. And so to have more resources to put to desired ends, both philanthropic and otherwise, yeah, I would like that. Sure, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be able to do more. You want to do more. But I mean, but it's not like my contentness or whatever is not contingent on that.
Right.
It would just, sure, of course, it'd be nice. And this really must have impressed one bride named Susan in Canada, whose social media rants went viral after she canceled her wedding and explained why she did. She wanted to get a bunch of money for her wedding the old-fashioned way by imposing on her friends and family that were to attend her wedding.
Right. Well, normally, yeah, I've been to weddings where the bride stands there with a silk bag and just takes envelopes of cash and checks. They don't want any gifts. They didn't register for anything.
Yeah.
There were the thing, it said on the invitation, cash or checks only. We are not registered at any store.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Take
they
my
said
wife, please. That's why I don't go to weddings, number one.
What was the last wedding you've been to? Do you remember? Do you know that love is patient? Do you know that love is kind?
I've heard that. Yeah. What about this approach, though?
All right, so what did she do?
She wanted a dream honeymoon.
All right.
According to her, I wanted to be a Kardashian for a day and then live my life like normal. So I don't need to be showered with jewels and to live a rich lifestyle. But for one day, for my honeymoon, I want to, blow it out. And she,
fair.
Well, you better wait for it. She pegged the price tag at her dream honeymoon, dream wedding / honeymoon, $60,000. They started out 15, and then she started dreaming bigger, and it got to 60. And the way she was going to finance this was to demand each attendee to her wedding pay $1,500.
$1,500
Yeah.
to attend her wedding.
Yeah. So have you been to a wedding where there's an actual price tag on it, where there's a ticket price?
Gives that much money? The most you could probably give is $500. $300's okay, but $1,500? What do you get for $1,500? Are you going on the honeymoon with her?
You can't put a price on her happiness, Susan's happiness. Well, actually, you can. It's $1,500.
Yeah, it's $1,500.
Yeah.
If I was the groom, I'd run away.
Well,
Because she's got some problems.
it didn't come together as she hoped.
Oh, no.
How could we have our wedding that we dreamed of without proper funding? We'd sacrificed so much and only asked each guest for around $1,500. We talked to a few people who even promised us more to make our dream come true. My maid of honor pledged $5,000 along with her planning services. We cheerfully thanked and accepted. My ex's family, now you know how it ends, offered to contribute $3,000. So our request for $1,500 for all other guests was not effing out of the ordinary. This is where she goes full Bridezilla. Like, we made it clear, if you couldn't contribute, you weren't invited to our exclusive wedding. It's a once-in-a-lifetime party. Then the couple sent out invitations, and only 8 guests RSVP'd. And 8 times 1,500 is not $60,000, even with the other commitments I just mentioned. We were effing livid writes Susan. How was this supposed to happen without a little help from our friends? To make matters worse, my ex's family took back their offer, $3,000.
Yeah.
Suddenly, more people backed out, including the maid of honor. My best friend since childhood, my second family. I was so shocked and tearful.
Bridezilla. She turned into one of those, and people said,
Then her fiance offered these last words.
Lose my number?
No.
Never email me again?
He suggested that they just tie the knot in Vegas.
Perfect.
Not to her. Am I supposed to get married in the heart of shady gamblers, alcoholics, and the get-rich-fast fallacy? Says the woman who's trying to shake down her friends for $60,000. You get rich fast.
$1,500 ahead. That's so stupid.
Yeah, she then accused her fiance of talking behind her back. She's broken off ties with the maid of honor for rescinding the $5,000 offer, apparently. And she overheard her fiance talking in the basement and calling her a stuck-up Yacht. Right. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I'm bone-tired. My heart is not the same. It's stone cold. And she then fled social media, never to be heard from again, at least not since this bizarre and very colorful rant. If you want to check it out online, I'd encourage you to do so. You Google bride and $1,500 or DuckDuckGo bride and $1,500 attendance fee, and you'll get all the details. But
is she hot at least? I mean, what?
Haven't seen a picture.
Well, I'll let you know if she's hot or not.
All right. Obviously the overriding point is ticket prices for weddings.
No.
Why not?
Because that's tacky. And
it's not tacky to hold a silk bag and say, put your money here.
I was at an Italian wedding, huh? The Scaramucci's, huh?
Okay. Racial slur.
That's not a racial
Ethnic slur.
They're the Scaramucci's. They're from Mount Prospect.
Do they talk like that?
Yeah, they do. And the Swedes talk like this.
Scusi, Barbara Boopy? Scusi, Barbara Boopy?
Is that the Scaramucci's from Mount Prospect?
Yes. I hope they're listening because they'll be laughing.
Bruce in Bloomingdale.
You guys are killing me out here. My wife was in the wedding business for 19 years, and I swear she's got the best stories of all. Drunken bridesmaids sacrificing their honor behind the bar, groomsmen beating up their ride home. She used to work at a posh golf course in the lovely town of Winfield. And if you want to see absolute classless, go to a wedding party and stay about 2 hours.
Really?
That's all you'll need to see. She's the only wedding planner in Illinois with a confirmed kill when the uncle of the bride dropped dead in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Great day.
Wait, I want to hear more stories. I can listen to that all day.
Well, we need Bruce's wife to call in.
Well, I
to
had
tell
a friend
the
who
stories.
got so drunk at her wedding that she barely made it to the altar, and then supposedly was going to take a nap, slept through her entire wedding reception. Never got up. Tried to wake her up. Her dad, who spent $20,000 plus, and this is back in the 90s, on this reception for his daughter, never got to have the daddy-daughter dance, nothing.
Yeah.
They're still married, though. But it was a great party that she missed.
How was your wedding? What was the take of your
Really
wedding?
too soon.
It's too soon. When was that?
I don't want to talk about
The 90s?
It was a colossal waste of money. Terry Savage told me in the makeup room, don't do it. Use that money for a down payment of a house and just go to a bar down the street. And then Allison Rosati was horrified. Terry, this is her dream wedding. Don't, And sure enough, Terry Savage was right. Money advice I could have used.
Wait, where was your wedding?
I don't want to talk about it.
How much was it?
I had it on a Sunday, so it was a lot cheaper. On a Sunday night, in between Christmas and New Year's.
What, like at the ground
I
in
had it
Mount
at
Prospect or where?
Yeah, we all took peanut shells off the floor. No, it was at the Hilton Chicago on South Michigan Avenue.
Oh.
Yeah, it was nice. In the Grand Ballroom. And then I had a dessert table that I never went by because I didn't see it. The 300 plus people were there. So stupid because I looked at my wedding list the other day. Of those people, I talked to maybe 5. and 2 of them are my sisters.
How much cash was put up?
Oh my gosh,
how much cash did you get? Did you have a silk bag where you were collecting the booty?
I got the most money from Natalie Martinez, which is nice. But no, I didn't sit there with a matching silk bag and collect money at the door.
Yeah.
Didn't do that. Because we have a little more class in this family.
Yeah. Obviously. What was
I hope Susan's listening right
What was the net take?
You know what? I didn't get, because I registered.
Oh.
That was a big mistake.
How many
I got
blenders do you need?
Crystal vases. Oh my gosh.
Sure, lovely.
So many crystal vases. But I did just go to a pawn shop because Larry Wirt gave me sterling silver champagne flutes, and I don't drink champagne, and I just hawked them.
No, Larry Wirt. Tribute Media. Just in case you were wondering where those champagne flutes
went.
Yeah.
They're at a pawn shop on Irving Park.
Well, I mean, you're trying to get even, right, with the outlay at the Hilton.
I don't drink champagne.
Mm-hmm.
I have them sit there. I'm purging, getting rid of things. So yeah.
And where'd you go on your honeymoon?
Oh my God, I don't want to talk about.
Well, just the location.
I went to Hawaii. Okay.
It's nice.
We be done. Oh, look,
we
have to take a break. Look.
It's expensive.
Look at what time it is.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dobbs, and Canada has changed its tune, now at the bargaining table trying to reach a deal with President Trump and his negotiators. And an NFL player charged with insider trading, brick-and-mortar stores fighting online. Once again, those stories next.
Patriot Mobile is the only conservative cell phone company in the nation that fights for your values. They partner with over 15 conservative organizations like Gun Owners of America, the Heritage Foundation, the Susan B. Anthony List, and more to promote conservative change. Patriot Mobile takes a portion of your bill and contributes it back to these organizations at no extra cost to you. Support conservative causes that you believe in and switch to Patriot Mobile's nationwide super fast, super reliable network. Unlimited talk and text plans start at $20 a month. Plus, you can save on select iPhones starting at only $4 a month. At this great value, one size doesn't have to fit all. Pick one that's right for you and for your budget. They also have great deals on Android phones. Hurry and join Patriot Mobile. This offer is valid while supplies last. Make the switch today by visiting or calling 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com. That's patriotmobile.com or 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Start making conservative change happen every time you use your cell phone.
Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says his country is now working hard on trade, hoping to catch up to Mexico as President Trump moves to scrap the former NAFTA. Time is running out for Canada, however. The U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer will formally notify Congress of the U.S.-Mexico deal this Friday. As the NFL grapples with more player protests during the national anthem, there's a new headache for the league. Federal prosecutors charging Cleveland Browns linebacker Michael Kendricks with insider trading. The prosecutors say that Kendricks made $1.2 million in illegal profits trading 4 stocks. From Home Depot to Best Buy, brick-and-mortar stores fighting online competitors, remodeling stores, and boosting customer service. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Still talking about wedding stories.
I'm sorry, my dream wedding.
Yeah, Dan's dream wedding.
Is that woman who slept through the reception, is she still married?
She is. But she had to go through. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay, good.
Okay, good talk. Hey, if you're interested in securing a reverse mortgage loan, then you need to call the reverse mortgage loan experts at Team Hochberg. Today, meet Jones experienced homeowners who live in $1 million home they own free and clear, who wanted to take money out of their home to pay for their grandchildren's college education. They were presented with facts how reverse mortgage loans work, discussed the pros and cons with their family, and compared the reverse mortgage loan against liquidating assets or taking out a loan with scheduled payments. After much thought and deliberation, the Jones were more comfortable securing a reverse mortgage loan to fund their grandchildren's college education because they enjoyed not having a rigid payment schedule associated with a traditional loan. Now, if you'd like to talk about how a reverse mortgage loan would benefit you and your family, call Team Hochberg Reverse Mortgage Loan Experts now, 312-751-1333, or go to am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, 4358 NMLS 19186.
My name is Lauren Sullivan, and I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 9 years ago, and I was severely disabled. And about 6 years ago, my mother had found Balance of Nature, so we decided to give it a try because at that point, nothing was helping. I was skeptical at first, but over time I realized I had more energy levels. I was sleeping better, which was huge, and my hair looked better, my skin looked better, my nails looked better, and then I was able to weed off some of those medications. And I know, had I not found Balance of Nature, I would not be living the quality of life that I am now.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
From the acclaimed director of God's Not Dead.
I regret to inform you that your husband was killed in combat.
When she lost her husband,
He chose to save me rather than come home to you and your daughter.
she lost her way. On September 7th comes an inspiring story about the power of family, faith,
I'm not giving up without a fight.
courage, and hope.
He will show them that nothing is impossible.
God Bless the Broken Road. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Only in theaters September 7th.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I lived in Grays Lake, and I have sold and moved out of the state.
Billy V. is a union employee. He left Illinois because he couldn't afford to pay $9,000 a year in property taxes on his $200,000 townhome in Grays Lake. Tony S.'s home in Park Ridge is being liquidated by the government to pay for someone else's pension.
I'm paying between $13,000 and $14,000 a year in property taxes, which is insane. I can't save for my retirement. They're basically stealing my equity from me.
Rich, poor, Republican, Democrat, you will not be spared the financial disaster the highest property taxes in the nation inflict. The good news is there's a group of independent candidates who aren't financed by Madigan or Rauner. They're working people taking up our fight to lower your property taxes. They made a life in Illinois, and the hell if they're going to let politicians take it away. Go to SaveYourHomeNow.org for information on the candidates leading the revolt. Go to SaveYourHomeNow.org to hear your neighbors' stories and share your own. SaveYourHomeNow.org isn't just a website, it's a battle cry.
Liberty Principles paid for this ad and is solely responsible for its content, not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
AM 560, The Answer.
What if you could enjoy total peace of mind when it comes to home security? What if the best technology came from a local company who puts the customer's needs first? Alarm Detection Systems is the right choice for an alarm system with complete control from your phone or tablet. Know when your children arrive home from school. View live streaming video. Check up on your pets. Receive alerts for extreme temperatures. Know if leaks or floods have been detected. Get real-time text alerts sent to your phone. Family-owned and operated since 1968, Alarm Detection Systems understands that nothing is more important than the safety of your family. Your security system will be monitored by our central station in Aurora, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Our on-site security consultation is always free. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6322. That's 630-844-6322. Alarm license number 127000143.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Enemy of the people. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump ranting on Twitter again about the press, again calling much of the media dishonest, writing truth doesn't matter to them. He took direct shots at CNN and NBC, adding a wrinkle we haven't heard before. He tweeted when NBC's Lester Holt got caught fudging my tape on Russia, they were hurt badly. It's not clear what he means. In May of last year, the president told Holt the Russia investigation he calls a witch hunt was on his mind when he fired FBI Director James Comey.
Don McGahn's a really good guy. Been with me for a long time.
And that was the president talking about the White House counsel yesterday who will leave that job in the fall.
With the president's permission, McGahn has cooperated extensively with special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, sitting for 30 hours of interviews.
Fox's John Decker. Now, the president has also just tweeted that his daughter Ivanka and her husband, advisor Jared Kushner, did not push McGahn out, writing the fake media purposely has that wrong. There'll be a church service and a military salute for the late Senator John McCain the day after his casket was lying in state at the Arizona Capitol.
He was just a remarkable man. It hit me almost as hard as my own father going.
She was among an estimated 15,000 people who waited for hours to see him. He used to be a cop in Texas, now a convict about to eat free breakfast for the first time in prison. Fox's Evan Brown on the case live.
Yeah, Dave, Roy Oliver was a police officer in the Dallas suburb of Balk Springs,
and he was just convicted of murder for his shooting into a car and killing a black teenage boy. Jordan Edwards was with his friends and was unarmed. Oliver said he feared the vehicle was going to hit his partner, but his partner told the jury he never feared for his safety. Now Oliver is in prison
for a term of 15 years.
But the family of Jordan Edwards claims that's too short of a sentence for murder, that their son won't be alive, but Roy Oliver will be. Dave?
This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Sunrise and sunshine in Chicago, 61 degrees. At 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. A man remains in critical condition this morning following a shooting in Calumet Park. Authorities say the victim was sitting in a vehicle near 119th and Marshfield when someone carrying 2 handguns fired into that vehicle at least 30 times. DCFS is revealing new information about the mother of 5 of the children who died in last weekend's fire in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. The agency says Yolanda Ayala was the subject of 21 prior child welfare investigations, 19 of which were ruled unfounded. However, DCFS substantiated allegations in probes in 2013 that Ayala failed to properly supervise a son who was 5. Federal judge has sentenced a suburban Chicago man to 6 years behind bars for a 2016 fire that destroyed a Room Place furniture warehouse, causing more than $122 million in damage. And it was all, according to the judge, over a dispute over vacation time. In an update to a story we told you about yesterday, there are growing concerns in Willowbrook following a federal report that shows a local company may be releasing cancer-causing chemicals into the air. A number of angry residents called for the closure of Sterigenics during a community meeting in Willowbrook last night.
I think I speak for the majority of the people here. We want you out. Goodbye. We don't want you in our community. And you know what? Shame on you for putting a place like you run in our community around 4 schools and a daycare. Shame on you for doing it.
The chemical in question is ethylene oxide. It's a known human carcinogen. Experts at the meeting cautioned that there was no immediate health threat. Mets over the Cubs, 10-3 at Wrigley Field. In Game 2, Game 1 was the finishing of a suspended game from Tuesday. That saw the Northsiders beat New York 2-1 in 11. Ryan Lamar homered and smacked 2 RBI doubles, and the White Sox win over the Yankees in the Bronx 4-1. There's college football tonight in the Big Ten as Northwestern opens the season against Purdue in West Lafayette, while the Bears take on the Bills tonight in the final NFL preseason contest. The news service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you can be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty by becoming a Compassion International child sponsor. You can choose a child to sponsor now at compassion.com/radio. That's compassion.com/radio. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Don't miss Freedom Summit 2018, coming to the Chicago West and Northwest in Itasca on Saturday, October 27th. This year, featuring headline speakers, former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark and James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. Also appearing, AM 560's Mike Gallagher, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, and Joe Walsh. Get your tickets today at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Precision Payroll of America, Automated Systems Incorporated, and by Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. The last chance to find an incredible deal on the cars, trucks, and SUVs that make summer go right. Simply stop by a local Ford dealer or shop online at buyfordnow.com. Because the time to get behind the wheel of a new Ford during the Ford Summer Sales Event ends soon, and so do these amazing offers. The Ford Summer Sales Event is in its final days. That means it's the last chance to make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Stop by your local Ford dealer and find great offers on many Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. With leading driver assist technologies, it's easy to see why Ford is the brand more drivers buy and buy again. Look for yourself. But hurry, the Ford Summer Sales Event ends September 4th, 2018. To find out more, head to buyfordnow.com or stop by your local Ford dealer. Best-selling claim based on 2017 calendar year sales.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's good news. Due to the financial hardship many are facing in today's economy, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program will resolve your tax problem, end all collections, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. If you are facing wage garnishments, liens, bank levies, audits, or payroll taxes, it's not too late. Your circumstances may qualify you for this special program, protecting your savings and your assets. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's no need to worry anymore. Call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands. For this free information, call 800-813-1105. 800-813-1105. That's 800-813-1105.
7:07, and a check on the morning commute in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Hoffman Estates, Barrington Road remains closed between Gulf and Bodie after a crash involving a Cook County Sheriff's vehicle. Eden Spur eastbound, it's heavy from the Tri-State to Waukegan Road. So is the Edens itself, 37 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 23. On Kennedy, jam starts at Cumberland. Got a crash now at the Hubbard Tunnel, 2 right lanes. Hour and 13 minutes travel time. O'Hare to downtown, 45 minutes from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound 30 minutes to Montrose, 52 to the airport. On Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown, 42 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound 51 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 39 minutes. Ryan is 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive is jammed southbound Irving Park to North Avenue and from around Navy Pier to Monroe, northbound from the Stevenson to Monroe. Northbound Tri-States, though, 111th to 87th. From the Mile Long Bridge, the Hinsdale Oasis, from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park, but Adams Tollway tight lead to the Tri-State. Northbound Veterans Memorial from Boughton to Roosevelt. Southbound 53 has delays, Northwest Highway to Higgins. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Partial sunshine to start the day today with a high 75. Later tonight it will become partly cloudy with a low of 60. Then tomorrow, some sun, then clouds with an afternoon shower. Thunderstorm in spots, high 82, low 71. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
64 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continue next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. If you're a conservative, are you considering not using Facebook if you currently do? Are you considering stopping using Facebook because of their treatment of conservative content? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. We asked the question because the Media Research Center did a national survey of conservatives likely to vote. And it showed that 90% of conservatives have used Facebook at some point. Less than half, however, are both using it and committed to continuing to do so. In point of fact, Facebook is at risk of losing 32% of conservative users, according to Media Research Center's polling. 2/3 have less trust in Facebook than they did a year ago. 2/3 do not trust Facebook to treat all political views equally. and a quarter are considering leaving Facebook because of their quote-unquote censorship of conservatives. Another, and as I said, about half less than half are using it and committed to doing so. So, I mean, that market feedback, perhaps would be more effective than any effort to impose federal regulation of Facebook and more appropriate. This is how the marketplace works. You do something and you get a market reaction. And by the way, this survey comes on the heels of a call from inside the Facebook fortress.
Oh, yeah. Hundreds of employees complained of a intolerant liberal culture.
We have a problem with political diversity. Published in the New York Times, senior Facebook engineer Brian Emerich confirmed Trump's allegation, writing that, quote, "We are a political monoculture that's intolerant of different views. We claim to welcome all perspectives, but are quick to attack, often in mobs, anyone who presents a view that appears to be in opposition to left-leaning ideology. We throw labels that end in ob and ist around at each other, attacking each other's character rather than their ideas." He goes on to talk about the monoculture of Facebook. "We do this so consistently that employees are afraid to say anything when they disagree with what's around them politically. HR has told me that this is not a rare concern, and I've personally gotten over 100 messages to that effect. Your colleagues are afraid because they know that they, not their ideas, will be attacked. They know that all the talk of openness to perspectives does not apply to causes of social justice, immigration, diversity, and equality. On these issues, you can either keep quiet or sacrifice your reputation and career." Emerich also writes, "We tear down posters welcoming Trump supporters. We regularly propose removing Peter Thiel from the Facebook board because he supported Trump. We're quick to suggest firing people who turn out to be misunderstood, and even quicker to conclude our colleagues are bigots." And as you said, more than 100 Facebook employees have joined Emerich to form an online group called Facebookers for Political Diversity. And this internal message board is where this was posted and then published by the New York Times.
I mean, think what they did to Diamond and Silk. You know, at Facebook, they pretty much kicked them off for, I don't even know what the relationship's like now, but their material, their content was squashed by Facebook.
Right.
And they had to take it to Twitter.
And to their fans, right? I mean, there's no, like, imposing somebody's content on somebody else.
You don't have to click on it. It's not clickbait. You can just watch it if you want to, and if you don't want to watch it, but it should be there.
Right.
Both sides should be there, both opinions.
That's what media does. It allows for the creation of communities, builds communities, and that's what individuals did, whether it's Prager University on YouTube or Diamond and Silk on Facebook. And then they come in and seek to basically divide and conquer, eliminate those communities, and do so perhaps in in violation of their terms of use contract, which is what Prager University is litigating.
Right. It's anti-conservative bias on their social network.
And this is coming again. I mean, much like the James Damore memo at Google, this is coming from inside the fortress. Interestingly, too, this occurs at the same time. There's another study out about how Gen Zers, these are people born after 95.
Oh, what are they?
Generation Z.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, I knew that.
Okay. Survey of 9,000 internet users from the research firm Ampere Analysis finds that people 18 to 24 had significantly changed their attitudes towards social media in the past 2 years. 66% of this demo agreed with the statement, quote, "Social media is important to me," in 2016. That's down to 57% who make the same claim in 2018. There's a survey across the pond in Britain found that 63% of school children would be happy if social media had never been invented.
Wow.
It's really interesting.
I wouldn't have wanted to grow up in the environment that our kids are growing up now.
Well,
No way.
And the kids, a lot of the kids aren't enjoying it either. There's one marketing firm executive said there are significant cracks beginning to show when it comes to Generation Z's, 18 to 24-year-olds, relationship to social media. because of, the pit that social media is in so many instances,
Oh.
which, again, it's not...
It could give you the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. Because sometimes, if you're in high school, you're not invited to a party and you're watching all your friends at a function or at an event and you're not invited to.
Well, right. It's...
and then there's shaming, then there's bullying.
It's a neutral communication channel. What it is a mirror of our humanity and the state of civilization, and that's what people are finding, in many respects, rather vile.
Yeah.
Perhaps a bit of a wake-up call, and if the 18 to 24-year-olds are getting hip to it first, then good for them. Interestingly, in the 45-plus age bracket, your age group, Amy?
Your age group, Dan?
I'm
a little older, but okay, go on.
The proportion of who value social media has increased from 23 to 28%. It's still a fraction. Tom in Bolingbrook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I'm a Facebook addict, sober for 6 months now.
Hi, Tom.
The big challenge I see with Facebook. Hello?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Never mind.
The big challenge is that we can't ever actually delete our profile. I've noticed that I've been off Facebook. I went neutral on or whatever it is, the device to turn it off. And no matter what I do, it's still there. I have friends who still think I'm on Facebook and message me. So that's one of the challenges. If we could get them to fix that, it would actually allow us to influence the market by deleting our profile. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the
I was gonna
call,
ask him
Tom.
why he got rid of Facebook, but because
probably
of its
because
biased behavior, right?
No, probably because he wasn't invited to that party you were talking about. Miles and Wheaton.
Hi, Dan. Rather than try to have the government regulate Facebook or these companies, they should just let people pass a law like the Consumer Debt Protection Act or Fair Debt Collection Practice Act and allow attorneys' fees when they violate the user agreement. That could put them on an even playing ground with the individuals like Diamond and Silk with the monstrous companies. They could sue, and then the companies would have to change their behavior because they'd be liable for attorney's fees as well as the damages that might be limited in some cases and not worth hiring an attorney for.
Wow, this is really
Interesting
lawyer
thought.
speak here.
Yeah, all
And
right.
He's from Wheaton. He's one of the smart ones.
That's exactly right. Thanks for the call, Miles. Appreciate it. Interesting thought. I mean, again, we're talking about this is a private transaction, and if you're not abiding the terms of the contract, then you do have legal exposure and should, because that's fraudulent. So it's an interesting thought. Vince in St. Charles.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I'm on, and I like to push it as much as I can and see what they do. And also, I was unfriended by one of my friends because one of my national pastimes is beating up Illinois and Chicago every chance I get.
Sure.
So I was unfriended, but I enjoy just to get information, things like that. I'll push it as much as when they kick me off, they kick me off, and that goes.
Thanks for the call, Vince. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm on Facebook.
You Facebook a lot.
Well,
I mean, to promote.
Yeah, to promote the show.
Yeah, and some philanthropic work you do, and then to get into it with people.
Well, I mean, it's just a forum. It's just communication on Twitter. I mean, I don't use Instagram. I can only handle so much social media.
Oh,
do so
Instagram, I
much.
can't. It's too much. Have you been unfriended lately by anyone?
I don't know. I don't care.
How do you know when you get unfriended, by the way?
I don't know.
Do you get an alert?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
Yeah. Oh, somebody didn't follow me on Twitter or something. I don't get the dopamine kick. I really don't care. But it is. I mean, it is genius. These social media companies, it's genius. I respect what was built because it is a great way to share information. I get a lot of information, and think about all of our listeners who are on social media, and they send us story ideas or comments, something we may have missed. It's helpful. So you create community around common content or common values, and you can have some interesting discussions, and you communicate with people that are fun to communicate with and get information you might miss. So it's an article, whatever. So it's great. It's so the whole kind of like boogeymanning social media. I'm not down with that, and I'm not down with regulating it either. But I am down with transparency, and I am down with amplifying views when you get something like this bit of a revolt inside Facebook telling us confirming what we know to be true, so then we can have an intelligent discussion about it. and for some transparency through market pressure from Facebook or Twitter or anybody else. Mike in Griffith, Indiana.
Hey, what you've missed regarding freedom of speech and the ability to speak and the ability to be heard is that the ability to speak is simply to post on Facebook and have your comments disseminated equally regardless of what is in them. If you, for example, took 1,000 people and put them on your list as a very staunch conservative, and then you had a liberal put the same 1,000 people on there, and then they put out liberal propaganda and then conservative propaganda, the liberal one is going to get disseminated 1,000 times in a row to every single individual on that list. The conservative one will not. That violates their terms of agreement. I have proof of this because I run a political site called MX Cartoons out of Hammond, Indiana, and we are shadow banned all over the place. We know it because we have the logins to multiple users. We check all the time. They are simply discriminately banning conservative talk, and that violates the user agreement that Facebook has you check off when you open an account.
Yeah, okay. Well, then there's exposure. Like I said, that's similar to the Prager University argument against YouTube and Google. I get that. Okay. Thank
Right,
you.
but I think you yesterday you tried to dismiss any lawsuit against them as it's not a freedom of speech issue. It's a freedom to post issue.
No.
We don't need to be heard. We just need to have the ability to post.
No, I didn't dispute a contract, a contract complaint. What I disputed and dismissed was the idea that there's any constitutional issue here, which is the same distinction you're making. So we're on the same page. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, it's not the freedom. That's not the freedom to be heard. It's the freedom to speak.
Well, it's not freedom at all. It's a contract issue. You just said it. Terms of use.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Freedom as opposed to I understand that delineation, but we're going to try to end up with a class action lawsuit on this because it's just a simple matter of statistical facts. We're not getting through, but liberals are. And when you line up a same list, let's say 100 people, 1,000, the stuff the liberals send out gets to every single one. The 1,000 for a Republican or conservative barely makes it out the door.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Well, I mean, and it's consistent with what this Facebook engineer, Brian Emmerich, posted and the New York Times published yesterday, too, about the monoculture and what they do with respect to posts or content with which they disagree or runs counter to the culture there. So, right. And I mean, that was consistent with what we heard when Zuckerberg was before Congress, and the Diamond and Silk example was referenced a number of times. And, there was the promise to look into it and correct it and all that sort of stuff. So I hear you. Ed in Oak Brook. Hey, Ed. Ed in Oak Brook. Ed in Oak Brook. Ed in Oak Brook. Ed
Thanks
in
for
Oak Brook
calling.
has dozed off. All right, bye, Ed.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
You're the one that's in charge of getting your business logo on everything. There are a lot of promotional product and branding companies that can do the work, but they're not marketing people. This is Bob Rowdy's. I'm a marketing guy. My company is Proforma Total Solutions. We have the resources of a $500 million company with the speed and response time of a small company. Promotional items, apparel, commercial printing, trade show displays, direct mail, and more. Proforma isn't just an order taker. We help you make selections and help you find the best way to display your brand. And we can do it all. One place, one shop. Anything that has a logo on it, we can do it. Best thing, give us a try. Give us a chance to earn your business. Proforma, 708-301-4128. That's 708-301-4128. I know it's hard to remember a number, so here's where you can get all the info. bestlogochoice.com. That's bestlogochoice.com.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs, get rid of the pain. You don't have to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat, you do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst. From an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I just wanted to keep you up to date on how things are progressing. So I'm getting Balance of Nature every month, maybe sometimes twice a month, from my friend who had MRI done, CAT scan last week. A very good friend of ours who's a teaching nurse, told me 2 years ago she's going to be gone within 6 months. I'm so happy that for Balance of Nature because anything else was just not doing it for her.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Turnkey IT knows that computer networks and all things IT can be the vital heart of any company. However, keeping up with the hardware and software and hiring and managing staff can be costly and time-consuming. But there is a different solution. Now your business can have a full-time IT department for only $795 a month. That's what Turnkey IT's all-in small business package is for. You get world-class help desk, on-site and remote support, monitoring of network sources, 365 hosting, cloud backup, antivirus, and so much more, plus new hardware every 4 years. Hey, where can you hire a reliable and highly capable employee for less than $10K per year? You don't have to with Turnkey IT. From 1 person to 200 employees, it's easy and affordable with Turnkey IT. You run your business, and they will handle the technical stuff. Visit turnkey.pro today. That's turnkey.pro.
People have long associated the Ozinga name with concrete, but truth be told, Ozinga has always been on a quest to create a better world. We want to help you build your business so you can provide for your family, create better jobs, and build your community. It's why we constantly engineer better concrete, haul raw materials, and supply cleaner fuel. Together, we can positively impact the places where we live, work, and play throughout the Chicagoland area. To learn more, go to ozinga.com. That's ozinga.com.
Chicago has long been a hub of architectural innovation, and the future of Chicago building isn't stopping anytime soon. At Ozinga, we believe it's important to continue pushing the boundaries of the construction industry, but it can't be accomplished alone. Let's build this city with ingenuity, sustainability, and with heart. But more importantly, let's build this city together.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson.
And Joe Walsh from MyPillow.
You're hearing from both of us because we've got 2 great MyPillow deals to tell you about.
And of course, because I'm the resident expert on the great night's sleep you're going to get with a MyPillow.
Is that why you sleep till noon every day, Joe?
Nice shot. Part of the reason. The other is because I'm not on the radio until the afternoon.
Lucky you. Well, I've got to get up early to do Chicago's Morning Answer, and I'm not sure I would get proper rest without MyPillow.
Hey, and I sleep even better with MyPillow because I added the MyPillow mattress topper to my bed. You got to get one. And when you buy the MyPillow mattress topper and use promo code Joe, you'll score 2 standard MyPillows for free.
For me, I love the MyPillow Go Anywhere pillow. So convenient. I suggest you use the promo code Amy. Buy 1 MyPillow and you'll get a second MyPillow plus 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows free.
Hey, either way, you're going to sleep like you never have before with MyPillow.
But definitely use promo code Amy.
Nah. Promo code Joe is the way better choice.
MyPillow.com. Promo code Amy.
Promo code Joe is way better, way better.
AM 560, The
Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
CNN won't retract the lie about the Cohen knowledge of the Trump Tower meeting. Glenn Greenwald has it. We'll talk to David Harsanyi, senior editor at The Federalist, about that and monkeying things up.
What does that mean exactly, to monkey it up? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Brilliant blue skies, sunshine, 64 degrees, 7:31. The late Senator John McCain will be eulogized this morning at a ceremony at North Phoenix Baptist Church. Former Vice President Joe Biden will lead a long line of dignitaries who will speak. The State Department reportedly denying passports to U.S. citizens, even if they had them in the past and perhaps served in the military. Washington Post says hundreds, possibly thousands of citizens are receiving letters that they're being denied a passport. The State Department doesn't believe they're actual citizens. The department saying hundreds of people who claim they were born at hospitals along the southern border in Texas are actually fraudulent documents. Former Texas police officer is being sentenced to 15 years in prison for the killing of an unarmed black teenager. Roy Oliver was found guilty of murder Tuesday. Jordan Edwards' stepmother, Charmaine Edwards, says the family is not entirely happy with the sentence.
Well, we're thankful for the verdict that we received. Although we wanted more years, this is a start for us, and we can get some kind of closure. So we're thankful.
Edwards was a passenger in a vehicle leaving a party when Oliver fired into their vehicle. Child abuse charges are being thrown out in the New Mexico Desert Compound case. The charges dismissed because of procedural delays. Alex Kotish is with the Taos County Public Defender's Office.
The rule is very clear that if somebody is in custody and 10 days goes by, that the district court shall dismiss the matter without prejudice.
It is the latest setback for state prosecutors who missed a deadline to present evidence of a plot by people at that compound to attack schools and other institutions. A man remains in critical condition following a shooting in Calumet Park overnight. A victim sitting in a vehicle near 119th and Marshfield when someone carrying two handguns opened fire, putting nearly 30 bullets into that vehicle. A suburban Chicago man charged with attempted murder after allegedly running his girlfriend over with his vehicle remains locked up in jail after a judge refused to allow him to post bond. DuPage County State's Attorney's Office says Judge Brian Tellender issued that ruling ordering 47-year-old Jose Aguirre of Cicero to remain in jail pending a hearing. Illinois using $108 million in settlements with Volkswagen over the company's cheating on emissions testing. The first round of grants will likely replace old diesel engines and will go to commuter rail and public transit bus projects. Todd Frazier a grand slam. Mets roll the Cubs 10-3 at Wrigley Field. That's after the Northsiders beat New York 2-1 in 11 innings earlier in the day, finishing off a suspended game from Tuesday. White Sox over the Yankees in the Bronx 4-1. Northwestern opens the 2018 football season tonight against Purdue and West Lafayette, while the Bears have a preseason game against the Bills tonight. The news service of the Positive Coaching Alliance. Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA is a national nonprofit offering more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports. Parents and administrators visit PCADevZone.org. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I am a Trump supporter.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Now, I am a Trump supporter who will freely criticize the president when I think he's done wrong. And done wrong can be sending out a stupid tweet, raising taxes, or supporting amnesty. Can be anything. It's the issues to me. And when President Trump does something that does not advance those issues, I'll call him out on it.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Remember this promise from Barack Obama?
And if you already have health care, then we're going to reduce costs an average of $2,500 per family on premiums.
The truth is, premiums in the individual under 65 market have more than doubled since the ACA exchanges opened in 2014, especially for the millions of Americans who do not qualify for subsidies. If you're healthy and do not need coverage for pre-existing conditions, premiums are much lower in the non-ACA health insurance market. These policies will keep you consistently insured all year long, and they include a nationwide PPO. And there's no one better to help you navigate the Obamacare maze than C. Stephen Tucker. He's a 20-year licensed broker who I know and trust, who's been educating listeners for more than 6 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com. That's healthinsurancementors.com. Or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
It is 7:36, and let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Edens is heavy inbound with delays from Peterson to Montrose. Travel times come down a bit. It's 29 minutes Lake Hook Junction outbound, 32 minutes. Eastbound Spur has delays. Tri-State to Waukegan Road. At Kennedy, jammed Canfield to the Hubbard Tunnel after a crash. Hour and 25 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 50 minutes from Montrose. 40 in the Express. Outbound 57 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower. An hour and 2 minutes. 390 to downtown. 46 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 56 minutes to 390. Stevenson an hour. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 39 minutes. Ryan 40 minutes. 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive is jammed. Southbound Irving Park to North Avenue and Grand Avenue to Monroe. Northbound from the Stevenson to Monroe. Tri-State southbound heavy 120 to Bradley. Northbound 111th to 87th. The Mylong Bridge to Hinsdale Oasis from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park. Veterans Memorial delays. Southbound Army Trail to 22nd. Northbound Fountain to Roosevelt and Army Trail to 290. Traffic Service. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, supporting victims of drunk and drugs driving and underage drinking. Call their 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MAD-HELP, or visit madd.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny, pleasant today, high 75. Currently, it is 64. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And remember the CNN ad in response to the attacks from President Trump about how committed they are to the facts and the truth? Remember?
Oh, yeah, like an apple is an apple and a banana is a banana.
This is an apple. Some people might try to tell you that it's a banana. They might scream banana, banana, banana over and over and over again. They might put banana in all caps. You might even start to believe that this is a banana. But it's not. This is an apple.
Yeah. Aren't they darling? Well, this story that CNN posted about Lanny Davis being the source, not being the source, a story back in July that Michael Cohen had first-person knowledge of Trump's knowledge of the Trump Tower meeting between his son and campaign staff and the Russian lawyer before it occurred. Since that has now been walked back by the fork-tongued Lanny Davis, much to the surprise and chagrin of Anderson Cooper when he did it on air. And Glenn Greenwald over at The Intercept has, who's, no kind of conservative or no knee-jerk defender of President Trump. He's not an ally of the right, but he is a observer of bull jive when he hears it. Right. And it's worth noting, as he does, the Washington Post has since retracted the story they published back in July on this topic. CNN doggedly sticks with their story because they're sort of trick-bagged by their tortured path of prevarication with respect to Lanny Davis and this story.
I find it to be, and obviously this is a high bar, one of the most humiliating and scandalous moments in the entire media behavior of the Trump-Russia saga. You know, I've been on your show to talk about a lot of these humiliating moments, and this might be one of the worst ones yet. Keep in mind that in addition to all the facts that you just said, what's so crucial about this is that after Lanny Davis went on CNN with Anderson Cooper, and to Anderson Cooper's shock, admitted that everything CNN had been breathlessly hyping is true, was actually false, namely that Michael Cohen was there when Trump learned about the Trump Tower meeting in advance. The Washington Post and the New York Post listened to that and they said, wait a minute, we independently confirmed CNN stories based on an anonymous source, and our anonymous source was Lanny Davis, who's now saying the whole thing is false. So they did what they had to do and what they should have done, which is they retracted the story. They outed their own source. They said our anonymous source is Lanny Davis, and we now retract it because he says it's false. CNN couldn't do that because they lied to the entire world. They said, as you just played, that they tried to get a hold of Lanny Davis and he refused to comment, when in fact, of course, Lanny Davis was also their source, and they don't want to admit that they lied to the world, so they can't retract the story. And they can't admit they lied, so they're just continuing to stick to what everybody knows is a lie, but not many people care because people think, a lot of people anyway, that it was done for the right political agenda.
Why can't they just eat crow? Say, you know what? We made a mistake.
Because we're in the post-truth era in politics, apparently. And by the way, this is the same level of journalism, in quotation marks, that you're getting in this whole manufactured hype, hysteria around Ron DeSantis's monkey things up comment, which we'll also talk to David Harsanyi about. He's senior editor at thefederalist.com, author of the book First Freedom, A Ride Through America's Enduring History with the Gun, From the Revolution to Today. David, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, why don't we start with CNN and what Glenn Greenwald had to say in distinguishing CNN from other D.C. press corps outlets like the Post, both the Washington Post and the New York Post, and how they've treated this story since Lanny Davis has recanted. What's your reaction?
Well, I think everything you said is correct. I mean, I think CNN in particular has created a culture and embraced a prefabricated ending to this, story already. So it's very hard for them to deviate from those kinds of pieces. But also, and let's not forget, they have at least 3, just off the top of my head, stories where they have said that multiple sources have given them something when we know that that's probably not the case. There's a story about Don Jr. meeting with the Russian, emailing with someone about the WikiLeaks stuff before it was released to the American people, and they had a source make the same mistake, 2 sources make the same mistake on an email. So, and then they also fired 3 journalists not that long ago, actually last year, where they only used one source for something that turned out to be untrue. I think if they held that standard now, they'd have to start firing everyone, including Carl Bernstein, which seems like not something they want to do.
But this is such an obvious betrayal. I mean, Lanny Davis lied for his own political purposes, and I can't understand why they won't come forward and just say that they made a mistake, because I will never trust them again. This is, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice.
Fool me six times. Yeah,
right. First of all, who trusts Lanny Davis for a story?
Right. Yeah, right.
I mean, that's the first thing that tells us not that they're not trustworthy.
But journalism 101, you don't need one, so you have to confirm it with 2 sources, right?
The other source is Lanny Davis's secretary.
Yeah. That's right. Lanny Davis secretary. And also, too, in exchange for being the source, they had to make a donation to Michael Cohen's GoFundMe page, I believe, as well. So continuing on this, Bruce Orr, closed-door testimony the other day on the Hill. Of course, aspects of it leaked out, including yesterday the idea, or the report, that he named half a dozen top FBI officials who had knowledge of the dossier. One of them, according to Representative Radcliffe from Texas, is a signatory on the Warren application, suggesting that they were purposely committing a fraud on the FISA court to get the surveillance warrants. does any of this matter anymore, or could Bruce Orr's testimony at some point in a public setting or the declassification of documents for the public consumption turn this Mueller investigation?
Well, let me take a quick step back and just say one more thing about CNN in regards to this. Yesterday we heard, I forget which congressman it was, talk about this. The FBI is now, they know, leaking things to places like CNN, and then CNN repackages those leaks as stories, and then the FBI uses those stories in their applications for to extend investigations, buttressing them. That is just corrupt by the media. It's corrupt by the FBI. So
that was Mark Meadows who made that point.
Mark
that
Meadows,
allegation.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it changes anything. I think for people who don't, who think that there was collusion, it doesn't matter that there are no facts to back that up, and they will never look at these. They will never say the FBI has acted poorly or politically. So I don't know what it changes, but for me, it just reinforces what as not a fan of Trump, it just reinforces to me that there were political motivations behind this dossier stuff, and that people pretty high up were doing something wrong. I'm not sure exactly how what the timeline is and how it happened, but obviously there's something wrong there.
Do you think we'd ever be able to find out who the FBI leakers are who gave those stories to CNN? Because they should be,
in addition to Andy McCabe, who's already conceded that he was a leaker. Yeah.
Right. Now we know that as the Republicans pounce on these people one by one, and there are IG reports and there are investigations into their actions, we realize that by any standard they were acting poorly. So we may find out. I mean, Donald Trump can go to the Justice Department and tell them to show us things if he really wanted to, which I don't understand why he doesn't do. But I don't know if we'll find out, but I hope we do, because I think this is going to end poorly for those people, many of those people.
Well, and I think it's an important juxtaposition, too. The evidence is important into supporting a contention, and the evidence continues to mount against the FBI and against the Department of Justice with respect to fair play, following their own protocols, following the law, former Obama administration officials potentially as well. And the evidence continues to be absent as it pertains to Russian collusion, as Lindsey Graham said this week. So I think that contrast is notable.
Right. I also wonder how. So CNN has made many mistakes, not just CNN. There have been so many corrections, and all those stories, of course, skew in one direction every time, even though they're supposedly innocent mistakes. I do wonder, what does this look like to many Americans if you don't have any of those stories out there? If journalists had done their job correctly, if they hadn't moved forward with these big scoops that turned out to be untrue, it would look very different, because there would be essentially no evidence of this collusion theory at all, and not even false alarms about collusion. There would be almost nothing.
Switching gears, I wanted to get your take on the media firestorm yesterday over Ron DeSantis saying, after complimenting his opponent in November for the governorship of Florida, that he outperformed his competitors in the Democrat primary, but Florida should continue on the path that Rick Scott has set, not go down the path of socialism that Andrew Gillum is promoting, and we shouldn't monkey things up in Florida. And this was taken, of course, to be a dog whistle by DeSantis.
Yeah, I mean, you can never really know someone's heart, right? But it seems to me that that term is not used in any sort of nefarious way there, and I don't know. We need a list of words that we cannot use, because it's getting impossible not to say things that people feign outrage about, and it seems to me this is one of those cases, and obviously the media is going to make a big deal about it.
Yeah, but I mean, monkey this up. Have you ever heard somebody say that term?
Have I?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay. No?
Yeah, I mean,
I have it.
monkey
I have, like,
around,
monkey
monkey this
around.
up.
Should have said mess this up or.
Gary Hart's boat, monkey business.
Oh, that's right.
Shock the monkey. You heard a lot of
Brass monkey, that funky monkey.
It's just rather incredible. I mean, if you listen to what DeSantis said in context, which is what you're supposed to do, the idea that he was talking about Gillum's race. I mean, I agree with you, David. You can't know anybody's heart, but it's just so absurd on its face, at least with respect to the contextual evidence. He's talking about socialism. He's talking about economic policies. He's going to be talking about for the next 75 days Gillum's corporate tax rate increase and abolishing ICE and legalizing marijuana, all the other things Gillum wants to do right out of the Bernie Sanders playbook. That's what he's referencing. It's clearly not his race, but of course Gillum couldn't resist intimating that absolutely was right out of the Trump playbook. That was Gillum's response.
Oh,